Did I do this correctly? Can y'all hear me? Is this working? Okay. Is the music playing? It doesn't look like the audio output is getting captured. There is music playing? Okay, there is no music playing. That's always nice. Wouldn't be a Fresh Faces stream without the scuff, right? Aha! There we go. I found the problem. Now you can hear the music, right? There it is. Okay. Alrighty. We got a lot to talk about. Not that much time to do so. Let's get all this crap out of the way. Fresh Faces 3. It's here. The first ASYNC qualifier will start at around 8:05 p.m. I want to just quickly say thank you all so much for the incredible outpouring support that you've been giving us for the last month. From when we announced to Reconnect to just playing seeds all through the build-up from announcement to now. We're so excited to have you. I would be remiss not to point out that Fresh Faces 3 is officially sponsored by Square Enix. Square Enix has given us 20 copies of Kingdom Hearts to give away. We have already donated 5 of those copies to Randomizer Brazil, which has a massive games pricing issue. We also have 3 all-in-one copies to give away. So we have 12 copies of 1.5, 2.5 across Steam and Epic to give away, and then 3 full all-in-one copies to give away on Steam. The way that you can do that, or the way that you can acquire these, is by using Command Donate and donating as little as $1. All donations are considered equal, and if your name is in there at the end of the stream, it'll be a little scuffed, but we'll do a little wheel spinner to see what prize you win, and you might win one of those copies. Fresh Faces 3 is also sponsored by Floating Grip, which is a gaming accessory company that is run by one of the sweetest people I've ever met. It's a mother who has been taking very good care of her kids, and the reason that she wasn't able to sponsor us for Fresh Faces 2 is because she was on maternity leave. So we've got a wonderful gaming company sponsoring us that handles wall mounts, RGB cables, a bunch of different ways to make your streaming space more elegant. They actually sent me personally some free product that I would love to show off. I think it's arriving tomorrow, so you'll get to see what you're working with. They have deals going on with 15 and 10% discounts, and they have also donated 10 $50 gift cards to the donors of Fresh Faces 3. So if just donating to Project Hope isn't incentive enough, which it should be, please thank our lovely sponsors, Square Enix and Floating Grip, for supporting Fresh Faces 3, and Square Enix in particularly for being a three-peat sponsor. They have sponsored Fresh Faces from the very get-go, and we're so pleased to be working with them. One more thing I'd like to do is this year I have the privilege of being joined by Evan, who is very, very high up in Project Hope, and we've hit his radar as a result of the efforts that we've done here, and he's here to say a few words about the awesome work that Project Hope has been doing.
Thank you. You flatter me. Well, I'm grateful to be here and just to be able to talk to all of you and just share just how much the Project Hope community on our end is just so grateful for this caring community. And it blows me away that this is the 3rd time you've all shown up in just massive numbers to support Project Hope. And I just want you to know that, no matter what, whether someone gives $5 or $50, every single donation matters. And even just you being here, spreading awareness, that support makes all the difference in the world. And to kind of hammer that point home, I wanted to just share this quote with you from someone on our Ukraine team that they recently shared with me. And that's that our team working in Ukraine told me something powerful. You were part of something bigger, helping people survive crises, rebuild their lives, and maintain dignity. The gratitude of a nurse who receives critical medical kits just in time, or a family that gets clean water because a borehole was rehabilitated. That's what makes it worth it. And that's the people on the ground seeing your impact firsthand. So that's a quote from our Ukraine team, and I just I think it really matters. And I just want you to also know that Project Hope's work stretches beyond beliefs and focuses on our core compassion that we all share for humanity and the people who need urgent medical care. So your donations, they become emergency medical supplies reaching hospitals under siege, clean water systems serving entire communities, and training for local healthcare workers inside Ukraine. And it's all very locally led. And I'm just like constantly amazed by what your support accomplishes. So here's some example of what we've achieved already and just continue to work on. Over 200 tons of medical supplies delivered, water systems rehabilitated for 50,000 people, thousands of healthcare workers trained in trauma care, mental health support for kids. This is all happening now because communities like yours refuse to look away. So I just want to end just by saying that this community gets it. You've shown it every year, and you just understand that connection and compassion can literally save lives, and that's what's happening. So that's exactly what Project Hope does every single day, and it's all thanks to you. So thank you very much.
Evan, thanks for letting us do this too. It's always a pleasure to work with Project Hope. You make it so easy to get involved. For those of you watching in chat, Evan and I actually did an interview at Fresh Faces 2 that I think is basically just as applicable now, if not more than ever, as a result of the escalation that has happened in the area since January of 2024. Please, I encourage you. It's a very quick watch. It's the best way to get informed about why we're doing the things that we do. Evan, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day, especially this late in the evening, to say a few words to us. It's much appreciated.
Oh, I'm so excited and glad to have been able to join you. So thank you, and thanks for your support.
Maybe if I pester you enough, you'll join us for Fresh Faces 4, yeah?
Oh, I'm there already. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Evan. So yeah, massive thank you to Project Hope for basically being a partner in all of this. We are so excited to raise a fuck ton of money. I do want to, again, thank you to the TOs, the editors, the sponsors, the players, the community, the people who agreed to, or like just helped us out even though we never asked you to. Right now I'm thinking of Key, Bulkin, Zach, Geek. Thank you all for the incredible amount of support that you have given us. But most importantly, we do not have an event without the Fresh Faces. So without further ado, as we finalize our stream setup, please welcome your Fresh Faces in style. See you all in a few minutes. Slava Ukraini.
Oh, there it is. Wow, I can't believe you got that off. I thought he was just a little late. All right.
GG's.
City Hall.
Wow. Your newest fresh face of KH2 Rando is City Hall. sorry to cut out very, very quickly, but we have an introduction to make. While I also refresh the stream, because I realized that if you work with the Twitch Theater link, it starts running right away. So I got to restart. But despite little being in his name, the impact is enormous for Fresh Faces 3. Joining me for our very first qualifier is actually the creator of these settings, but not only that, he has been our lead international coordinator, ensuring that our international restreams are up and running. Little Ordez, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me on the first ASYNC. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope everybody who's practiced these settings, played them, or have done these qualifiers have enjoyed what I've created for you guys. It has been fun to try to figure out what was going to be something new and something unique for you all.
I need to start a timer for 15 minutes so that we can switch to the next group. Okay, so if you hear the alarm bells go off, you know what that means.
Right, so,
but Little Ordez, talk to the people about what is different about these settings from Fresh Faces 2, because for those that don't remember, Fresh Faces 2 was every check was worth 1 point, and you were spoiled how many points were in each world at the start. What is different about this year?
So instead of going with what they call J Smarty, we decided to go, well, I think it's still a little bit J Smarty actually, but instead what we're having is that in order to get your information about a world or how many checks are going to be in the world or what's going to be in there, we put it on a spoiler world unlock. So basically you get your report, you'll get revealed the whole world, you'll find out what's there, then you decide if you need to push it or not. We made it a little bit more spicier because we wanted to kind of have those further pushes and further risks a bit. So I put those reports on first visit bosses. So at the end of your first visits pretty much is going to give you information. So you go do mini push, you go do your Bailey fight, you go do TT1 tower, you're going to get your information. So it's slightly different because you're not necessarily getting how much information's in the world, but you're also getting what's there. So it's a little bit different, but it's nicer because then you could kind of plan out where you're going, but you could still get random, which is what we're looking for here. This is a randomizer after all. So I was shooting for something a little bit different, but still in the same realm of what we had before, because we like those weird pushes, so to speak. Like, hey, I'm going to go push this as far as possible, and we're going to see what's there. Like taking a dive into STT early, or doing Halloween Town 1 all the way, and then pushing straight into Halloween Town 2. So it's a little bit different. We also did implement visit unlocks now, because I think in the past, in Fresh Faces 1 and 2, we didn't have any visit unlocks. So you can go all the way through TT3, all the way through Hollow Bastion right from the get-go.
Just because we are probably going to have a lot of new people, can you elaborate what TT3 means, like what these acronyms are? We'll probably be using them in shorthand.
Of course. Sorry, forget. So TT1, Twilight Town. Twilight Town, when we kind of abbreviate it, that's going to be the world. So TT1 is Twilight Town. And then 1, 2, and 3, there's 3 parts to Twilight Town. There's the first visit, the second visit, and the third visit. So typically we put a number at the end of it. So you have Hollow Bastion 1 or HB1. You have Hollow Bastion 2 after the Bailey fight, which is the start of the second visit. That's HB2. So there's going to be some abbreviations of the worlds. And then the number is going to be the visit that you're going to be in. So all of the second visits are locked until you find their visit unlock. So everybody has access to the first visits, but your second visits are locked until you find the visit unlock. So that's a little bit different from what we had the 2 previous tournaments as well too, with visit unlocks becoming more of the norm that we've seen in recent tournaments, leagues, beginner tournaments, boot camps, anything like that. I wanted to try to find a nice way to implement it for them to experience it, but not to be super punishing, so to speak, where you had to go down a rabbit hole and chain logic to figure out where to go. So they're all first visit. So as long as you do a first visit, you'll most likely get your unlocks and you'll get your information. So we made it a little bit nice, but you're still going to have to kind of work for it.
What I love about these settings is you can even look at it with our first 4 debuting. Oops, I realized I just left the audio portions for this video have been muted. Let's quickly correct that. But this did not used to be the case in Fresh Faces 2, or I mean, I guess it occasionally happened, but when in Fresh Faces 2, a lot of people would go to very, very similar opening worlds, and you will definitely see some overlap, but I think that we're going to have the time to massive differentials will be substantially higher here, because a single report can completely derail the seed.
Exactly. I've had practice races where I've been racing other people, and they finish super quick, and I'm like, where'd you get the information? Where was this? And it was a world that I just decided not to finish out because I didn't feel like going further, or I got everything that I needed out of that world. So you're gonna either you're gonna win some and lose some, so to speak. So that randomness is still there. It's how do you prioritize that information to use to your advantage? So we are going to see varying different routes this time around, rather than the traditional shotgun routes that we've seen over the years. So that's what makes this exciting, is that we're going to see a bunch of different plays.
So I don't know how this didn't get recognized. We have like a whole page of donations to get through that I did not notice. So we gotta, because I don't think I recognized them yesterday. So let's go through the list and actually talk about some donations that we got. PG Josh with the $25, thank you so much. Lands the Master donating $7.50 because he actually has his own matching campaign for anyone that signs up using code LANDS, so thank you for that. Omicron Gamma with the $100 donation on August 6th. Thank you, Omi. Much appreciated. Thank you for being such a longtime friend and supporter. Annabelle with the $15, following right behind. Danbop with the $30 donations 12 minutes ago. Much appreciated, Danbop. Khaled with the $50 donation saying, I thought the async bot was going to break more than it did. I thought so too. And the only mistake really was that I did not know that Google Sheets automatically converts to scientific notation. The software itself was pretty solid. I was very impressed. And then last but certainly not least, Walpy with the $50 donation. I think between all of these donations, we've already got a dignity kit, an infant kit, a hygiene kit, another infant kit, and some other reward that I think because my window is too small, I can't see. I don't think it's actually going to tell me, but so many rewards already done. And just a reminder, as Evan said, all of your donations go to the humanitarian aid aspect of the crisis going on in Ukraine. It does not at all have anything to do with military action whatsoever, so this is a completely apolitical take that we have here. We're just trying to help people.
Exactly, and that's the goal here is, yes, we love to see rando, but most importantly, we like to help people as well, too. So make sure you donate. There is that matching campaign, so that matching campaign is big. So your $10 is really doubled up there. So even if you could do $1, $2, $5, whatever it means, it is just going to be double. So make sure that you hit that donate link and you donate some, even if it's just $1.
I believe, by the way, we have a proof that was found, if I'm not mistaken. The quality is not great on this stream, but if I can make that out, I think that is proof of connection. Now, as soon as the source rotates away from the sponsors, which, by the way, please thank our sponsors, I will mark it as found in the only new edition that I've really provided on my own. We love Mr. Codename Geek for this overlay. The proof is my only contribution. The proof right away. Oops.
Well, that's how it goes. You're right.
I borked it immediately, so you have to click away from the sources.
That is the proof of connection in Halloween Town. It did have a reflect, so not going to go reflectless to see. They actually have 2 reflects as far as I'm seeing here, because the second reflect, I believe, was in, I forget exactly where it was. I did see it, but they do have Laflera. Somebody has Laflera, but they are going to get connection. They are going to have, a couple other nice tools. They're going to have a magnet. They're going to have a fire. So they're pretty good kitted on magic-wise. We're just looking for those stats now. Looks as I've seen from Clark here, we did find Slap Shot and Aerial Spiral, an Experience Boost and Thunder Boost. Now, Experience Boost, kind of hard to do in beginner. If you're not used to it, you take a little bit less damage, but if you do it pretty early and you prioritize it with all these tools that you got, you can get some quick levels in, so that's pretty nice.
So we have a lot to cover in a very short amount of time. So One thing I want to point out, checking in with Clark on his tracker, looks like Pride Lands did pay out with like a variety of things. 2 visit unlocks in the form of Agrabah 2 and Twilight Town 2. We have a Torn Page and a Magnet collected, as well as a Blizzard on levels. So we have some utility. It's not the greatest set of tools so far, but definitely enough to get by in all of the early mob fights. I do also want to point out that I believe we got a couple of donations in here. We got Uki, who I think somehow is doing either a donation match or an amplify. You may need to educate me just because I set this up very last minute with the $60.50 donation, which by the way puts us at over $1,000. So our first incentive has actually been met. So we will be doing a KH2 Rando trivia stream, very similar to what was Kingdom Hearts trivia at Reconnect, just very specific to KH2 Rando. And we'll have some sort of prize for maybe our top participants in the KH2 Rando trivia event. So thank you all for helping us hit our first incentive on our very first day. Now I need to learn how to activate the next incentive because I don't remember how to do that.
While you work on that, we do like trivia. Everybody, trivia is great. So make sure you learn all your trivia because that's going to be nice to see how the rest of us do of that trivia game. In the meantime, it's just going to be, we still have some rando going on. It's just not us talking here. So there has been quite some pushes here. It's been very interesting to see. We do already see from Deck in the top right, they did get their 2 first reports.
Oh my god!
And that Agrabah is really, really good. So we already know where 3 of the proofs are. We know that as long as you...
It has been 11 minutes!
You're going to get your connection. You're going to get... If you go to Agrabah, you're going to get your Promise Charm, and you're going to get Peace. But not only that, you're going to get another Reflect. So you are going to have a Flare.
And we also know that Peace has...
Epsilon.
Yeah.
Well, so, yeah. Epsilon pushed Agrabah already, which they did get Peace. But the interesting thing is... They don't have Promise Charm yet, so the question is going to be, how deep is Promise Charm? Are we going to see Agrabah 2? We all love Genie Jafar, right? Genie Jafar is a great fight, but we'll see if the Promise Charm is in Agrabah 2. If they do have to go to Agrabah 2, it is a requirement to get all 3 of your base magics for your Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder. Otherwise, you can't do the lock switches, so... You can have the unlocks, but you can still be locked out without a magic. So we'll see where or how deep this Promise Charm is. So the question is just going to be, where is this non-existence? So we're going to find out which report's going to tell us, or we may just randomly find it in one of these worlds. Unhinted, so to speak. So, Clark's going to head into Agrabah, going to get that piece since it is on Abu or before. Actually, it's before that because we can see Deck heading into the Bazaar really early. So it was in early shotguns.
So I do need to quickly interrupt because we're about to move over to the next batch of people. So I'm learning. I do want to give a massive shout out to Moko, who's in chat, because now I understand how you can actually check who did the donation matching. You can do it anonymously, but I do now see on my end that Moko has done a matching campaign. I don't know for how much it is. I know he said 250 in stream. I can't quite figure out how to see that. But Moko, thank you so much for that incredible generosity. I think it's still ongoing. So what that means, by the way, is that if you are willing and able to donate, Moko will match your donation up to $250 in total, collectively from all of you. So please do get those donos in so that the full donation matching takes into effect.
All right, so we see, let's see, so we have Dylan over there doing mini push, going to get their information for Agrabah. Actually, it's not an Agrabah. That is a 100 Acre Woods information, which they're just going to get the report for that. They need to go do Bailey, which is going to give them another report. We have Deck and Agrabah checking out all the way up to Abu. See what's going to get in there. Epsilon is doing Station Fight. Actually going to try to take... Ooh, they found Final Form. Did they actually find Final Form? They did. Where was Final Form? Was it in TT1? In Twilight Town 1? It looks like it was. So Great spot to level up your final form to get some quick levels. And it's also pretty good to get through this fight pretty early because either you have to take a death abuse or you have to do a bunch of hits. So as you can see, they're just jumping and doing a attack just to get a bunch of hits on these nobodies to get through this fight pretty quickly. All right, and then Dylan doing... Oh, limit form was in the shotgun of Halabashi.
Dylan, ignore Dylan for now. Ignore Dylan for now.
Ignore him? Okay.
Ignore
I'll
him, yes.
Him. Okay.
Let's focus in on Clark. Let's focus in on Clark for a bit.
Is doing Agrabah. Did get their Proof of Peace. Did get their Reflect. Gonna try to get this chest that's in the shop. They break the shop, but the Fat Body or the Fat Bandit, I forget exactly what their official name is kind of bullying them a bit. So, and if you guys didn't know, Agrabah 1 is kind of a no-fly zone, especially with these I forget what they're exactly called, the Nocturnes. I always call them Nocturnes because they're from KH1, is how I remember them. But if you jump in the air, they will come and attack you, and then you will get kind of stuck in midair. So Agrabah 1 has been known to be a no-fly zone. So if you can just quick run around, or if you can jump really low, you can kind of avoid it. Otherwise, you end up happening what Clark just happened, is you jump and you immediately get hit. Silver Rocks? All right, thank you, chat, for the official name, Silver Rocks. I'm probably still going to call them White Nocturnes because I'm probably going to forget the official name. All right, so Clark's going to go push the monkey here, Abu, and we're going to see if they are going to decide to leave after this or if they're just going to push forward. They don't have the hint that the Promise Charm is here, but they might luck out and just come across the Promise Charm. All right, so little tech on the Abu push here. You can stand behind him and push him just like Clark is to make Abu go a little bit faster. There is a strat to make it super fast where you can do it in like 2 jumps with Abu. But if not, all you really need to do is just push him and then just do the command for the jump. It makes it go just a little bit faster. So we have our next 4 of our Asyncers. In the top left, we got Silly Hangman. We have Plyax in the top right,
and then Vanilla Crescent
Vanilla
Crescent in the bottom. There's an error on our end.
Vanilla Crescent in the bottom, and then in the bottom right, and then we have Sky Pilot in the bottom left. So we see them checking out. A lot of them actually are in Pride Lands right now. So we have 3 of them in Pride Lands. Going to get the first 25 checks. And Plyax is in Agrabah, getting their proof, and going to push Abu as well too. And if we take a quick look, actually, we can see that levels are actually done. And they're done pretty early by level 14, it looks like. And you get Blizzara for your level up. So nice magic if you want to head over to Pirates. Blizzard is really good there, and same with Thunder. It is super, super good to kind of just go through PR that way. All right, so do we have any other new information that we haven't seen yet? It doesn't look like it. We do have TT1 done. TT1 did give us a hint, it looks like, for DC. DC is going to be done after mini push, so you're not going to have to worry about going back there. We do see that Pride Lands is kind of stacked. Doesn't have any of the proofs, so you're probably just not going to come back and get anything there. And then we have Agrabah, of course, hinted. We know that there's a Promise Charm there and a Blizzard. We just don't know how far. All right, so with Plyax, he is utilizing this Master Form in the Beast fight. Not the Beast fight, the BC, Beast Castle first visit. Usually you take a Death Abuse, but if you pick up HB ups, you kind of get a lot of health, so it's very hard to do your Death Abuse. So you kind of want to make that faster by getting to the hit count with either using Master Form, or if you have Valor or Wisdom, it's a really good spot to level that up as well too. All right, so Vanilla Crescent heading through Pride Lands, going to finish up their checks as well too. We have Sky Pilot finishing up theirs. And
that's not Silly Hangman either.
also,
Jesus, that is Deuce up there. Oh, okay.
All right. So, we are having a little bit of a technical with the names. That is actually Deuce in the top left, not Silly Hangman. So, Deuce is in the top left with their Magnet Burst. Not doesn't have Master Form, so not able to do Master Form, but is trying to get through everything with Magnet Burst and the hit count. So they're going to be here just a little bit longer than if they had anything else. But it's fairly quick. They're going to get some nice levels from, or not nice levels, but nice experience from it. And then Plyax checking LOD Shotgun, deciding where they're going to go next. And then Vanilla Crescent is finishing up, going to go talk to Simba and head on out. And then we have Sky Pilot down in the bottom left, checking their abilities, putting on some nice tools to try to make it through their fights as well too. All right, so pretty good spread so far. We see everybody starting to diverge and decide where they want to head into, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see where everybody decides to push further into, because you're getting to the point where your shotguns are finished and you're going to want to start to get some information of where to go next. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what everybody decides to do.
I do want to point out that in the amount of time that we were frantically trying to fix the Switch, Dallin has donated $10 with the comment, "Another add to my pool of stonks, yeeters, and limit 7 blessings." We have Clark Streams with the the $10 donation. Sorry, I was reading the 2x. Thank you so much, Dallin and Clark. We also have PG Josh with another $10, saying Slavo Ukraini, good luck, Fresh Faces. So Fresh Faces, a graduated face, has wished you best of luck. And then Tibbs with the $145 donation, I believe potentially completing the matching campaign, or at least getting very close, almost completing the matching campaign by Moko. So in the amount of time that Moko put it up, y'all have successfully raised $500. That is absolutely insane. Thank you, everybody, for this influx of donations from the get-go. Our next incentive is at $2,000. If we hit the $2,000 incentive, every Fresh Face that played in the past that was ineligible for Fresh Faces 3 will be returning, or will be invited to an exclusive community night where their races will be restreamed, so we can see which of the Fresh Faces has quote-unquote advanced the most, but these settings are such RNG that it's more about the spectacle than everything. So at $2,000, if you want to see the older Fresh Faces cohorts at 1 and 2 that did not get to play in Fresh Faces 3 make a return and compete, please get to $2,000. Have we talked about the report that's at the top of Twilight Town yet?
I believe that is, if I'm looking at what reports I've seen on other trackers and then the hints, I believe that report points to
Beast
DC.
Castle, right? Oh, DC.
No, I think it's Disney Castle. So because I think because I've seen a lot of Beast Castle hints, and I'm pretty sure that it comes from the Bailey fight. So
you would know.
Hints, yeah. I'm trying to piece it together here from what I've seen. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the top of Tower, which is basically Ensign's Tower, the end of first visit for Twilight Town, gives you a hint for Disney Castle, which tells us that by the time you do mini push, you don't have to go back. It's going to be done. So they don't have to go any further than there, so we know the proof of non-existence is not there. So now, here's a very interesting thing. Ready? Go right ahead, Roro.
No, I wasn't going to say anything useful. You go.
Okay. No, what I was going to say is, I was talking earlier about it's going to be very interesting to see what people decide to start pushing after they do the shotguns. Sometimes you normally see Beast Castle, as Deuce is doing. Sometimes you see people dip a little bit further into PR. With beginner, you can kind of do something a little bit different. You can actually push screens, as we're seeing Plyax and Sky Pilot do very, very early. Because you do get some decent amount of experience off of these kills. You get about 102, I think it is, 104. If you're able to get an experience boost range, which Sky Pilot is, they're getting 200 experience for every kill. So you can blow through those levels and get a lot of stats very, very quickly. Now, we know Levels was dead pretty early, but you still kind of want to get stats to make the rest of your fights really, really quickly.
And it was 2 blizzards on levels, wasn't
on
it?
level 20. Yeah, 2 blizzards. Level 20 also had a money pouch. So if you make it to 20, you're rich.
All the ethers that you could ever want.
Exactly. So it looks like Plyax actually stopped a little bit in the 20s. I'm not sure if that's exactly 20 or if they're in the mid 20s.
I think that's 28, if I'm not mistaken.
28?
Yes, that is 28.
Yeah, that's 28. Those stats actually look pretty good for all the content you have to do. Now, the World Never Was is not on. We purposely turned that off for these fresh faces. It is a very, very steep boss rush in the World Never Was, and we didn't want really to punish anybody if they didn't necessarily know those fights just yet.
Right.
So we have that turned off. So really, you're only looking for mid 30s as your stats. If you get into the 40s, like 41, you're pretty set for everything, including final fights. But if you get somewhere in the mid 30s, all your other fights are going to be really, really quick, very, very easy. You're going to do pretty much the most damage. So with that knowledge, you can kind of stop early. You can get more, or you can stop early and just head on out if levels are done.
I remember what I was going to say. It might be more useful than I thought, but I couldn't remember it when you asked me. I felt you put me on the spot. So, what I did want to say...
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No. I shouldn't have started talking if I didn't know what I wanted to say.
Me every day.
Yeah. What I did want to say is that this is actually something that's very unique to this specific format. Usually KH2 rando tournaments only have a single qualifier, but because this event is so massive, thanks to your support, we were able to actually spread out the qualifiers across 8 separate qualifiers. Now, you may notice that we specify that this is ASYNC qualifier number 1. This is a completely different seed than what you will be racing tomorrow, on Saturday, or on Sunday, and the reason we did that is because when you async, you do not have the privilege of knowing how other people do live. In Fresh Faces 1, when we figured out that it was a very, very quick jet seed with the first person finishing in 24 minutes, if you got to play live, you kind of had that extra information, where the asyncs did not. And the asyncs really struggled to keep up as a result because they didn't have that information. Of the 15 people that didn't get to advance in Fresh Faces 1, 11 were asyncs. So what we decided to do this year is if you couldn't make it live, we had 4 async qualifiers that were completely independent of the live qualifiers, but they still apply the same rule of the top 25% advance into the chopping block, which will be on Friday, August 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern. This qualifier had 9 people in it, so unless there's any corrections that need to be made, because for some people this is their second qualifier, because we randomly assigned everyone to a qualifier for fairness, 2 people from this qual are expected to move on. Now, that can change because we will be... the way that it works is that if you qualified in your first qualifier, your run is dismissed in the second qualifier, and some of them played Seed 4 before Seed 1, or something like that. So we need to do some math and actually ensure that we are correctly doing it, but we can expect around 2 people to... 3, we're rounding up. Okay, Kale has corrected me. We have 3 people that will advance. Now, from the restream, we might be able to deduce who they might be, but please allow the Fresh Faces TO team until Monday to finalize all of the results, because we need to validate the runs, ensure that the loadless times are correct before we publicly announce all of the results. So you might have a rough understanding of where you might be, but do not take any of our... X person is moving on as canon. That will be announced on Monday. We will speculate on who we expect would be moving on, but that is not set in stone.
Thank you for that, Roro. I know it sounds like a lot. It may sound a little bit like, hey, do I understand this? Trust us. We know what we're doing. We're professionals. We like to say we're professionals. We're really not, but we're professionals. We'll get it all squared away. We'll let you guys know as soon as physically possible. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that Roro put together and the other TOs put together. So make sure to thank them because we're working hard to try to make it as fun and as inviting as possible.
Indeed.
All right.
So Sky Pilot Samurai is plunging in for the proof, and Deuce is what? The Deuce is loose.
The Deuce is loose. He did finish Beast Castle for us. We did get information about another world that we haven't got information on yet, and that is Space Paranoid.
And what do we know
Since
about
it has
Space
a nice
Paranoid?
set of tools.
Let's actually take a look and zoom in.
We know that Wisdom Form is there. The other Beast Claw for BC2 or Beast Castle 2. We have the second membership cards for Membership Card 2 and a report. Now we know what's in the first visit because we do see Sky Pilot and Plyax. They both finish SP1. So they also have the report from Space Paranoids, which tells them about LOD. So we're kind of narrowing down where this non-existence is going to be. So it is going to be very interesting to see how this kind of irons out. You're kind of knocking out worlds, and you kind of got to make a decision. And now, if you have Limit Form is very nice for this STT push. So STT, all you STT lovers, your stonk lovers, it might come into play here. So be prepared with your stonks this time.
Oh, oops, I accidentally hit enter. All right, time to panic.
We're panicking? Okay,
we're
cool.
Panicking, yeah.
No, we're fine, everybody. We're fine.
Time to panic. Everyone riot.
People riots?
Put your favorite emotes in chat. Distract us from the technical difficulties.
All right, so we have 4 new runners, or since we have an odd number, we have 1 person who hasn't been on the stream, but we have 3 returning people. So we're cycling through. We're trying to give everybody as much screen time as possible. We do have Dylan up in the top left. We have Clark again back in the bottom left. So we'll see what's up with these 4, what they're doing. We see Twilight Town being done. We see actually Pirates being completed here. We haven't seen a Pirates push yet. So this is very interesting. What's actually pretty nice about their tracker, have you seen the 100 Acre Woods? That it's already complete?
Oh, wow, that's huge. But that also could rob you of a report, because if you now get a report for 100 Acre, you feel robbed of the information.
Yes. That's the other thing about these settings, is that you can complete a world, get all your information, have it blue, because it does blue, regardless if you have the report or not. But you can finish out a world and get a report that points to that world that you just completed. So there is a 100 Acre Wood report out there. It is not in Port Royal, so Dylan is eventually probably going to get that 100 Acre report, and is going to say, well, I did this for no new information. So it's unfortunate, but at least, you still get that information. You know that, hey, it's done. I absolutely do not have to go back. I just realized that Deck is doing Halloween Town, which is not bad. The only unfortunate thing is when you can't death abuse, the fight itself is very lengthy. There's not a lot of enemies where you can get a lot of hit counts. So you have to either fight it out or just sit and take as much damage as possible.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like they were doing, was trying to get those White Knights to proc their spinning attack, which hits you a bunch and does a lot of damage. Alright, so we have Epsilon finishing up TT1, getting their proof. Yes, the top of tower, the top of Twilight Town 1 was the DC information. So that's where that report came from. Alright, so Clark heading into Twilight Town, probably going to finish Twilight Town 1 to get that piece of information as well too. He's going to realize there's just a report left in Disney Castle. Now, what is Port Royal going to give us besides this report? Because in some cases, a world just couldn't have just a report. I've seen it happen before. It's not very fun because you want to find your proofs. You want to find important checks. magics and whatnot, but sometimes you just get some information of where your next route is going to be. All right, so checking out abilities, using some power ups, some power boosts, and all, getting above the stat line that they're looking for. Do they have Blizzaga? They do have Blizzaga. Blizzaga is really good here in Port Royal. Without Thunder, they haven't. I don't think anybody's found a single Thunder yet. So if that Promise Charm is in Agrabah 2, they can't get it yet because they got to find this Thunder. But at least they got Blizzaga to use in Port Royal, and it works great if you have the right stats. Because this Barbossa fight, all you do is just spam Blizzard over and over. So we're going to see if Dylan's probably going to set up here. Yep, and just going to spam. And look at that health bar just chunk away. They are going to have to use an Ether just to make sure that they can do this. And we're done. Oh, speaking of Thunder, they now have a Thunder. So Agrabah 2 is now open for them. We're going to see what this report is that they get and what it's going to hint out. And it hints out the... Remember how you said that it's kind of unfortunate when your world that you blued, you get a hint for?
Oh, no.
I thought the 100-acre wood hint was somewhere else, but apparently it's in PR.
Oh, no. So Dylan did all that work for not that much payoff. Did we get anything useful in Port Royal? It's a little hard to tell, but
he got a Thunder.
Okay.
He got the first Thunder of the seed. So if they have to go to Agrabah 2, he's the only one so far that has access to Agrabah 2. But it's a little unfortunate that report that he got was for a world that he's already blued. So he's going to take that Thunder and decides, hey, I'm just going to go get some levels in SP and go finish SP1. Meanwhile, we'll see some Twilight Town action, some Pride Lands action, and we see actually OC. I think this is our first time seeing OC shotgun. I know people have shotgunned it and all, but I think this is our first time seeing them actually be in it. We're going to see if they actually do Hades fight, or Hades escape. I say Hades fight, Hades escape. And they're deciding to go for it. Hades escape is a little scary if you do it very early on, especially without any kind of tools or stats. Hades constantly shoots fireballs at you, which is not fun. And the Lancers that are here, I forget exactly what their official name is, but the Lancers aren't really nice either. So if you can get through Hades escape, you pretty much have smooth sailing to get all the checks in OC. Or most of the checks, because there's a couple checks in OC too. Alright, so Dylan getting their levels using their magnet, just tossing up 2 magnets and gonna get a bunch of levels. They are in experience boost range, so we're gonna see if they're gonna go all the way up to as high as possible, or when they decide that enough is enough and gonna head out, because even though levels are dead, they can still get some abilities on there, so you never know where your abilities are gonna be.
Alrighty, thank you to our TO team for bringing us up to the correct timestamps now. We saw some people that were 15 minutes behind where we intended to be into the seed. We're learning this ourselves. This is the first time that we've ever restreamed all asyncs at once, so please be patient with us. We're learning just as much as you are probably, so... okay, I'm being yelled at.
We apologize.
Group one. Why am I getting pinged? Oh no.
You're okay. You can handle that. I'll handle the crowd here. We apologize if anybody's missed anything about their asyncs if you are in this qualifier. Like we always said, we're learning. This is our first time restreaming the asyncs. We are trying our very best to make sure everybody gets exposed or gets exposure, not exposure.
Yeah, I was gonna say get exposed. Damn, we can't be doing that.
Let me rephrase this. They're getting their exposure. We do want everybody to have exposure during this. They did the asyncs. We had them recorded so we can show it off. So we are trying our very best to get it all ironed out. But we spent days behind the scenes trying to get this finalized and trying to get it running smoothly. It's not picture perfect, as you can see, but we're getting there. We're getting all the correct information. We're getting all the right timestamps. So We appreciate it. We're gonna get better as this goes on. 2, 3, and 4 asyncs. The async number 2, 3, and 4, promise will probably be a little bit smoother. But nothing's bad with a little technical difficulty here and there.
No, and despite the technical difficulties now, the technical stuff that we implemented prior allowed 35 people to play their qualifiers. So that was a massive bump that we're very happy to include for Fresh Faces 3.
Exactly. So here we are now up to the most recent timestamp for everybody. So everybody's on the same timestamp now. We're not 15 minutes behind. We can see that the trackers are filled out a little bit more. We did skip through a couple things here, but that is perfectly fine. Doesn't look like anything major has been discovered yet. We still are missing the Promise Charm by almost everybody. We actually did find it from Dylan. Dylan actually has the Promise Charm. I don't know how deep it is, but they do have it from Agrabah. So the only thing we are missing here of exactly where it's at is non-existence. And we're kind of running out of worlds because from Dex tracker here and from Epsilon's tracker as well too, we can see that OC is done. OC was stacked. It had Reflex Magnets, it had your Valiform, it had OC2, it had Torn Pages, it just had about everything. So we're down to what? Port Royal, we're down to Halloween Town, we're down to, we know SP, they don't have the report for SP, we know 100 Acre Woods is done. So we're down to 4 locations, which is LD. Oh no, LD's report's been found, if I remember right. So we're down to STT, Twilight Town, Drives, and Halloween Town. I don't know if PR is done, but we're down to about 4 or 5. So this is going to get kind of spicy of where you decide to go, because that STT play is looking pretty inviting now. So you do have Limit Form. Limit Form does make that trip into STT very, very quick and very, very nice, because you could just spam Limit Forms. You also level up Limit as you're going through there as well too. And you do get it pretty early from doing... Actually, they don't have Limit Form. I thought it was in Hollow Bastion 1. Or did I misinterpret that with Proudfang? I think I misinterpreted that with Proudfang.
Yes, that is what happened.
See, my eyes are bad too. Okay, I'm trying to look and trying to read, but
we're wearing a lot of hats right now.
Yes.
We can't read. We can't read in our base form, and now we're doing so many tasks all at once. So you will have to forgive us if we get something wrong from time to time.
Yes. Just enjoy these runners. These runners are doing great so far. They're all doing their fights. They're all getting the information. They're making their pushes. We're seeing very unique plays, which is what I was really going for all this. Like, I really wanted to see everybody diverge almost as soon as possible, because it makes it for a very interesting qualifier, because you're so enthralled by where everybody's at. Everybody right now is in 4 different worlds. We don't see them all bunched up in Twilight Town 2, or we don't see them all bunched up in Hollow Bastion 2, or all in OC1 at the same time. So this makes it exciting because we get to see where everything's at, and we can kind of wonder where our information is, where our proofs are. So we're going to see who decides or who finds this last proof first and then pieces all the other puzzles together. Because what I find very interesting is I think all 4 of these runners have not gone to Halloween Town to go find this proof of connection in the shotgun.
Oh my god, is it just really there? So was Plazaz the one that was in there?
Well, so Halloween Town, half of our runners so far have gone into Halloween Town. It is in shotgun of Halloween Town. I think it's like at the woods or right before the woods. What's the saying that we did in Fresh Faces 1 and Fresh Faces 2?
Rando be Rando?
Shotguns?
Oh, do your shotguns, yeah.
Yeah, do your shotguns. I know that this kind of incentivized to go do first visits, but do your shotguns is kind of still there, where just dip into a world, go get the checks, leave after you get the checks, because sometimes, just like Roa was talking about earlier, the 22-minute qualifier seed that we had, the very first fresh faces, that could happen in one of these races.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. So Taser was telling me, I don't think the connection is in Halloween Town Shotgun. That was the wrong video. You were saying that, and I was like, maybe Plizzazz, when he went in there, he saw it. I didn't want to correct you incorrectly. Thank you, chat, for being on top of it. In particular, Taser 2, much appreciated. That's why I was telling you to ignore him.
Oh, see, this is all right. We all are learning here.
This is fine. Everything's fine.
Thank you, chat. Thanks, chat. Chat's the real MVP here.
That is true. It is very nice that, like, despite the fact that it's technically on us to get things right, the chat is very, very helpful for us.
Oh, okay. Got it. So we got a clarification on our name here for Plixas. Plixas, is that how you say it? Like Roxas, but instead of
Plixas. Okay, gotcha.
Plixas. Okay.
Sorry. Thank you for correcting us.
We also like to be correct. Yes, we also like to be correct. So if we say something wrong, please correct us.
Yeah.
We don't want to say anybody's
We're just
wrong.
dumb, not deliberately inconsiderate.
Exactly. So, yes, correct us if needed. We greatly appreciate it. We just want everybody to be acknowledged here. So, all right. So, we have Clark doing Agrabah 1 and finishing up Agrabah 1, and it looks like the Promise Charm was before this treasure room. So they're deciding to finish out and go get the report that's on Twin Lords, which is actually not a bad play, because sometimes, yeah, you can get what you need out of there and you can leave, but you're missing out on some information that report can give you. So you have to kind of make a decision of, do I still continue to push this and finish out first visit, or do I just leave with what I have and then we'll go from there? So, interesting play. Everybody will play a little bit different. Clark's deciding to go for that information. Information is kind of king in these settings, where you can kind of rule out visits that you don't have to go touch.
There's a little bit of RNG infused into it, though, just because you might not get a report that you actually like.
Exactly. As we saw, where if you finish 100 Acre Woods, you go do Port Royal, you get your report there. It hinted 100 Acre Woods right on top of that. So you can not get you can get a report that you don't want, but you hope that that's not the case.
Right.
All right. So these four are going to continue in this world. We're going to see Clark finish up Twin Lords. We're going to see what that information is. Dylan is doing OC Demics.
Is that our first push into OC unhinted?
Unhinted, yes, I believe.
Did we get the OC hint?
Else actually, we do have the OC hint. OC does finish off by time Hydra is done, like when you finish Hydra. So it's done by OC1. You do not have to go into the second one. As we can see from Epsilon's tracker here. So they will get OC2 unlocked, but it's not really going to help them because it's just going to finish on Hydra.
So no one has had non-existence hinted, if I'm not mistaken, right? I don't recall seeing a non-existence hint. So we might be looking at something very dangerous here. We might be looking at, like, STT, some second visits, like, that are unusual, like Port Royal. I think Space Paranoids was hinted to not have anything.
Port Royal is also hinted to not have the hint. To not have the proof. I think that
does have a proof in it, no? Oh, no, that's a reflect. I got duped.
That's a reflect. So we're down to, as you're saying, we're down to STT. We are down to drives. We are down to Twilight Town. And we have the Hollow Bastion hint. I think we have Halloween Town done or not done? I forget exactly where, but I know it's drives and both Twilight Towns. Similar to Twilight Town and regular Twilight Town. So this can get kind of spicy if it is a drive proof, because we're gonna see everybody's favorite game of Form Roulette. And you will have to go find some forms, or you may have to auto it. Which we know that autoing in beginner is not the most exciting thing to do, because you don't take very much damage once you get a lot of health. And with the health bars that I'm seeing on these players right now, it will take some time to get into your auto forms if you decide to go down that route. They do have quite a bit of health. I forget how quickly I play a lot of critical seeds, so I forget that in beginner when you get HP ups, you get a lot of HP ups. So you could have a big health bar really, really fast.
Yeah, that's probably arguably the most. Oh my God, Hangman is an STT.
We love this STT play because we do see them running out of places to go. Now, Plixus, though, has actually the upper hand here because do you see what's hinted on their tracker?
A double report in STT, but no proof. Interesting.
No proof. So, speaking of this double report here, do you want to explain what we mean by this double report? Why there's 2 reports in STT when we already said that there's only 1 report on the final bosses?
Yeah, so there are 12 first visits that you can complete in Fresh Faces 3. There are 13 reports, though. So what that means is the way the generator handles it is it will place 12 random reports on the end of first visits, but the 13th can be anywhere. And so the fact that Plixas has the hint for 2 reports in STT indicates that should he make the plunge into STT, there can be 2 reports of information that are there. Now for STT, I will say it's kind of a hard sell for those 2 reports because STT is heavily backloaded, so that information is going to take a very long time to actually do. But there are instances where if you get hinted 2 reports but no proofs, you might actually want to make the push because it can give you a lot of direction about where the proofs actually are. Now the proofs are not guaranteed to be hinted, but they very, very frequently are. So
yeah. So with the information that we know, we can kind of, us as the audience, can narrow down this pretty quickly because now we've eliminated pretty much all the worlds except for, well, Plixus just gave us our other piece of information we didn't know. Drives do not have this proof, so we're down to two locations.
We're down to what? Halloween Town
and Twilight Town.
Oh no! Do we have all 3 ice creams yet? We do. Sky has all 3.
We do. Yeah.
Oh wow!
The other ice.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the other ice cream is in OC, so you got to go push OC, and if you don't have that hint, you're just gonna have to go do that unhinted. As for Halloween Town, I don't know if we found the other Bone Fist yet. I haven't seen anybody have the second unlock for the other Bone Fist. So what's interesting is
it's hinted on Plixus's stream somewhere.
Oh, it is?
Oh, Bone Fist is an STT.
It's an STT.
Oh no! So this could turn into a disaster.
Yes.
If it's in Halloween Town 2, that would make STT required.
Yes. So Hangman here can get, actually, from these 2 reports, can get the 2 reports that tell them, because I don't think we've had the reports for Twilight Town or Halloween Town pop up here. And those 2 reports could hint those 2 worlds and could unlock the whole seed for them. And then we will have all the information that we need. So this STT play might be the play. So, as Roro said, it is very heavily backloaded. So you have to do a lot of story content, tutorial world, as you want to call it, up to struggle fights. Struggle fights and beyond is when you start to get a lot of your checks here. So as we can see, Central Station and Sunset Terrace has about 7 checks, I believe it is. 3 here, and I think there's 4 on Sunset Terrace. And
Correct.
Then the rest are in Mansion.
We have 2 reports, so hopefully one of them, now that we're focusing in on this peak gameplay, we've gotten through the snooze fest that is STT.
Yes. The very slow trudge through the fights and all that. We're now getting to the content that everybody likes, the copium of opening chests here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Vanilla in the bottom right is pushing LOD. I don't think we've had anyone do that, but I also think LOD got hinted at one point, right?
Yes, it has two things in it. I forget exactly what it has. We know it has a report. I think the other thing is it has Peter Pan, I believe is what it is. So there's only two things in it. It does not have the proof, though.
Now,
I
did
do not
Silly
know where
Hangman
that
pick up all
report
4
was.
chests there?
They did, yes.
They did? Okay. He did? Awesome.
Yeah. So they went. They dropped down from the top tower. Then they got the top tower.
Okay, just wanted to
went
make
the
sure.
Waterfall. I think they went to the waterfall because in TT3 there is a chest over there by that end of that tram. It's not necessarily in the waterfall, but there's a chest over there. Sometimes when you're in STT, you kind of get mixed up with Twilight Town locations. So I know I do that sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm here in similar to Twilight Town. I'm not in Twilight Town, so I have to retrack myself. So that probably is what happened. But yes, they did pick up all 4 chests in Sunset Terrace. But Vanilla Crescent does have the report for LOD. They are probably pushing it for that information because everybody's seen what's in here. It actually looks like it is a fire. They did see what's in here, but they probably are like, I want this information. I want this report. It's probably going to give me what I need. So let me push it. And it's not a far visit either. It's not very long. It may seem long. The only longest part about it is that minute fight, where we do see some funny things. We do see Minesweeper sometimes, or
Yes.
we see Wordle sometimes. So Hangman is gonna do our mansion here, where we are definitely going to find at least one report on Axel. We're gonna see where the second report is. Do you think it's before Axel? Or do you think it's that last chest after Axel?
Oh my god, could you imagine? That'd be kind of
Back-to-back
disgusting.
reports.
Just back-to-back deep STT reports. We'll see what they hint, because I think that with these at least 2 pieces of information, we are potentially going to break the seed wide open, at least from our perspective. One thing that I'm observing as I'm looking at all of these runs is it is crazy how quickly you get complete information as the viewer, and I'm really trying to remind myself that these players have a fraction of the reports that we have, right? Like, they don't have the collective hive mind that we have here. So you might be saying, no, go the other way, but they don't know, right? They are making an educated decision based on, oh, there it is, non-existence in Halloween Town.
STT is required.
And have we already done
STT is
Oogie?
required because, yes.
We've done
I've seen
Oogie.
somebody do Oogie.
And
Yes.
not get... oh, yes, Plixas has done Oogie.
I-
Oh, no! Oh, here we go, chat.
Plixus
Here
has
we
done
go.
Oogie, so
What a
STT
qualifier to
is-
start on. Oh, my God.
STT hard required because you have to go all the way to Mansion to go get that Bone Fist to get into Halloween Town 2. So, well, actually, wait a minute. Since we were looking at different seeds here, we still don't know where Connection is, right?
To my knowledge, no. So I think that means it's probably what? Port Royal 2? Have we been hinted that yet? Oh, no,
Well,
it has
Port
been
Royal
hinted.
is hinted. It's Twilight Town.
Okay, so
you
we...
also need to go to OC.
So Skypilot Samurai actually has TT3 access, but no hint for it. So Skypilot is going to get the information from the Agrabah hint.
Yeah. So basically, you have to do both Twilight Towns all the way through, pretty much. We are
my
going to see
God.
Hangman do, because they are already here at the end. We're going to see actually if this report is going to give us Twilight Town information, because I think that is the last world we have not seen hinted yet. I think we've seen everything else hinted besides Levels and Twilight Town. And wouldn't it be glorious if this was the Levels hint?
Yeah,
this be
that'd be some cruel bookending on this insanely first insane qualifier.
Because that would mean the LOD push that we saw Vanilla doing is the TT hint. So this could get spicy and interesting about how this is all gonna pan out. There's the report, and it is Twilight Town, and it does give them the hint for the proof. Twilight Town's kind of stacked, by the way.
Oh my God.
So, go do STT, everybody. STT will unlock your whole seed for you.
Oh, not that way, Hangman. There you go.
Yes. STT hard required gives you not only the unlock that you need, but it gives you the 2 reports that you need as well too, which is your Halloween Town report and your Twilight Town report. What a qualifier seed. Rero, you have done it once again.
I have done it. I have screwed us once again.
Now, Walpy did it with the Fresh Faces 1 with that jet seed. Okay, you did it with the LOD1 incident, which is the chopping block seed of Fresh Faces 1. Fresh Faces 2 also had some gnarly qualifier and chopping block seeds, and I'm glad we are continuing that trend here in qualifiers because this is very exciting. So you have to do STT. I haven't seen Trinity Limit. And limit forms in Twilight Town, so you have to kind of do STT with just a fire if you know how to use that on some of the fights, but otherwise you're just doing it with your Keyblade and just smacking things.
Yeah.
Great qualifier. I love this qualifier seed 1. I hope 2, 3, and 4 are just as great as this one, and same with the live qualifiers.
So I have not watched a lot of seeds. The community night races, I have seen a couple, but like this qualifier in particular is really entertaining because we kind of like have a phase 1 and a phase 2. Where phase 1, we're all collectively speculating on the proofs. And now phase 2 is we know where the proofs are, and now it's exciting to watch every decision that each player makes and see, will they make the right push? Will they be able to, and keep in mind, right push, I say only in results-oriented, right? You can make a totally valid decision based on the information that you have that will not work out for you, right? But it was still a good from a gameplay point of view. It just won't give you the proof.
Exactly. Like we said, we as a collective audience have all this information. We know where they need to go. These runners have a fraction of this information that to them push... Oh, nice experience boost on Prison Keeper, by the way. To them, they are making the right plays with the information that they have. So, for example, Plixus, they know that, hey, I'm narrowing down where these proofs are. The right play to do is OC. We know as a viewer that they do need to go OC because they need TT3 access.
Right.
They don't know that they actually have to do it to get that TT3 access to go push Twilight Town 3. So it's just very interesting to see with their information what they decide to push.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why we try to zoom in on the players occasionally to see what their trackers really look like, to see why they're making the decisions that they do. Ooh. So I think Vanilla Crescent here is going for the report, but it is hinted, right? Okay, so gonna get the report for the information. Yeah. I think this is the deepest push into LOD we've seen. Now, I think for some people, they say, okay, I'm not going to go do all of LOD for a report, but hey, all you need is just one lucky hint. Unfortunately for Vanilla, I think that we know where all the reports that hint worlds are, right? So,
yeah.
This is what, going to hint levels?
It's hinting levels, because we have not seen a levels hint yet. We've seen every other world get hinted, so they will be doing all of this for the levels hint, which they'll get the information. The unfortunate thing is they already know the information. If I remember all my reports correctly, yeah, it should be levels, because I have not seen that report pop up yet.
Clark in chat saying, I did not like this qualifier. It is very interesting to... I think that it's not as common for the async participants to be able to witness their own seeds. I think it's very interesting to see them chime in. Now, I do want to emphasize that you guys have been great. Do not spoil async information. You guys have been great about it so far. I'm not calling anyone out. Just a reminder for future asyncs that will be larger than this one. Please let us realize it for ourselves. Great, the qualifier is great for spectators, rude for you. Understood.
I always found that too when I had to do asyncs and I watch my seed back. I'm just like, I think to myself, I'm like, well, why did I do this push? What made me do X, Y, and Z during the seed? Why did I push Oogie? Or why did I do 1000 Heartless? Why did I go do all of OC2 right off the bat? And it's just one of those things that it's just, in hindsight, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. But when you're in the middle of doing these seeds, especially in async, and all you have is yourself to think about what route you have to go, you're just going to make split decisions. And that's what makes watching these so fun for viewers and kind of antagonizing for the runners themselves. Because they're like, the runners are gonna be like, I don't like to watch this. But the viewers are like, go push this. This is exciting. This is the play I want to see. So seeing that STT play and seeing it how it panned out where, hey, it's required, that's the kind of thing, and that's the kind of content that we like seeing. Like Hangman at the time was probably like, well, why am I in STT? Well, I don't want to do this. It's my only thing I want to do. I'm going to take a risky play. But for us, it's very exciting because, hey, they're going to get the information that we know they need and unlocks this seed. So
Jack was being wildly unhelpful in this entire segment. Poor Hangman. Like, Jack was just not doing a damn thing that was helpful. Nice usage of the drive form, too, to get back the HP. Nice quick thinking. But Jack, my God, was just doing us no favors here.
Jack is very rude during the presence situation because he just likes to attack the kids constantly, no matter what. So it's just very funny. Hangman is going in and out using a little bit of a save warp. I'll be honest, I did not know that was a save warp. I know the other way around, going back to it, but I didn't know going out was a save warp.
I'm not really sure if it saves a ton of time, but I also did not know about it. And speaking of something you brought up earlier, by the way, Sky Pilot Samurai will get actually a useful hint out of 100 Acre because he has not entered it once. So that'll actually narrow things down a little bit for him. I suspect, given this tracker from Sky's side, so Sky actually is in a very unique position where he's in like almost all or nothing territory. He either knows everything or nothing about a world. So I suspect Twilight Town is on the move here, right? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I thought maybe PR2 could be interesting because it's a lot of checks in rapid succession, but you know, a world as big as Twilight Town where you can literally go from start to finish and get a healthy stream of checks all the way through, it makes sense to come here. So I think Sky, I would suspect that at least the first visit will be completed, potentially actually going all the way through. There's our Trinity limit. Exactly. I didn't even notice that. It's in Treasure Room. So some people... So I think we did actually see a healthy amount of Twin Lords fights. So I think that we will have people that will have Trinity limit for STT. Oh, no!
Favorite minigame?
Oh, no. Not only is it Halloween Town 2, there's a non-negligible chance it's on Experiment.
The best boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, I'm sure... I think you've just started an uprising.
Experiment.
Chat is going to go absolutely apeshit after you said that.
All right, chat. Show me some Ukraine hearts for Experiment 2, please. Because we all
don't slander my emote with this thing.
All right, give me any kind of heart. Any heart that you have, give it to me for Experiment. Because here we have Hangman doing Experiment for the proof of non-existence.
What a crazy first qualifier. STT required into Experiment. So this is truly a disgusting chain, because where do you get the STT hint anyways? One thing that I'm hoping to do for Async Qual number 2, and honestly just any Async qualifier, is actually have my own copy of the seed and load stuff into the tracker so we can have a better collective view. I forgot to do that in preparation for Async Qual 1. But anyone remember where the STT hint was? Was that Oogie?
Well, everybody decides on that. There's also this seed can get even. Then
Experiment's
there
a bully.
Why everybody's favorite fight? Yeah, that's why everybody loves Experiment. Experiment is just a bully. We could get even better this seed because that connection, we know it's in TT3. It could be on Betwixt, so we could see all of TT as well too, all of Twilight Town. So this seed's great.
Unfortunately, I do have to switch over. I did try to give Hangman some extension time because that was our presence in Halloween Town 2. But I do want to ensure that all of our lovely participants get highlighted.
That is good. So we do have 2 STT pushes here. We have Clark in STT. We have Deck in STT. So they're going to get their 2 reports that they need. They're going to get their Bone Fist, and both of them also have TT3 access. So they're going to be in go mode. as we like to call it, go mode pretty much means that you have access to all your proofs, and they're just going to need to go acquire them and head to final fights. We have Dylan narrowing down where the proofs are. They haven't quite gone to STT yet, so they're going to have to head there to get that. They know about STT. They are just exhausting all their other options. And Epsilon hasn't got the STT proof, but is also narrowing down their options and is going to realize they have to push STT. So we're kind of getting down to the point that everybody's just going to end up pushing STT because they're exhausting every option they have. And I don't blame them. STT is very rude to go do if you don't have Trinity limit. So if you haven't done Treasure Room, or you don't have limit form, which we know limit forms in TT3.
By the way, I do believe Dylan did get the proof of connection. So now we know, in theory, exactly where every proof is. I can't quite make it out on this overlay, but it looks like it was somewhere in TT3. If I go to the raw link, maybe I'll be able to open projector view, and let's expand that out.
So if we see the Mickey icon would mean that they did the mansion fight. If we don't see the Mickey icon, it is before mansion. So that's really what we need to see, because at this point, if we see I think it's the assassin icon, it is going to be betwixt.
I think, I can't quite make it out, but I think it's just TT3, like no mansion fight.
So it's somewhere in the tunnelways. Tunnelways or Sunset Terrace. So they don't necessarily have to do the mansion fight. They just have to get access to TT3, go find the proof in one of the chests, and then head on out. Which I imagine everybody is going to do, because I imagine TT3 is probably going to be their last proof. But I could be wrong. Everybody could decide that Halloween Town is something they don't want to go do. They'll rather go figure out and get more tools in Twilight Town before they have to go push their Halloween Town.
Right.
Good old struggle fights without Trinity Limit. They do have Trinity Limit. If you do have Trinity Limit, by the way, if you do go into Simulator Twilight Town, it is one of the best tools. I think it's the fastest tool out of all of them, even with Limit Form. You do these for these struggle fights. All you do is you do Trinity Limit, and then you're done. You do Trinity Limit, you pick up the orbs, and the fight's done. It usually takes about 6 seconds, max 10 seconds if you don't have draws.
Right.
But you just spam Trinity Limit each time.
The draws are incredibly important there because they actually help you pick up the orbs faster as you are actually performing the Trinity, because as you move, especially when you do the finisher, you land closer to where some of the orbs drop, and you collect them during the animation. So the use of the draw ability is absolutely... I know that 4 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but we have had qualifiers decided within seconds before. So if you want a 4-second time save, you can take that one to the bank.
Yes. There are some other tools and some other tricks in STT you could use fires. Fires is very quick. It's a pretty good thing. And like we always say, it's limit form as well too. Limit form is nice because yes, it does make it fast, but the most important part about that is you level up limit form in that as well too. You get your drives leveled from there. So there is a bunch of tools. If you don't have Trinity Limit or you don't have Limit, there are a bunch of strats that make STT or similar to Twilight Town just a little bit quicker. All right, so Epsilon did get the proof in Twilight Town, but since they haven't pushed STT, they don't know that the other proof is in Halloween Town. And here's the other interesting thing I just noticed from their tracker as well too. They don't have the Agrabah hint. Where was the Agrabah hint? Because they don't know Promise Charm is in Agrabah. So they somehow avoided the Agrabah hint. They will eventually go there. They'll probably eventually get it, but right. I forget which world did give them that hint.
I want to say it was relatively early. Let's take a look at what...
It was very early.
Epsilon hasn't done. Epsilon has not pushed the mouse. Is there any chance it was Disney Castle?
It might have been because they did Hollow Bastion 1. Because they did get it very early. I want to say it was Mouse Push that you do get your Agaba hint.
By the way, who can we thank for this seed? You can thank our Des for the settings and me for rolling it.
Exactly.
We truly came out swinging in style as in commentary here. Sorry, I interrupted you. I didn't mean to.
No, you're fine. Yes, you can thank us for the seed. And I will just say already, you're welcome. It was a great seed. I hope you enjoyed it.
If you had enjoyed it, please consider using command donate. We are 60% of the way through our next incentive to ensure that our Fresh Faces 1 and 2 ineligible participants for Fresh Faces 3 come back and do a community night race. We do still have $15 left of Moko's extremely generous $250 donation match. So please, if you're willing and able, we will be spinning the wheel of prizes at the end of the stream. That actually scared me into realizing I need to make a wheel of prizes.
Yes. You know what? While you do that, everybody donate $1 or $5 and tell me how much you love this seed. Because
yes, let's do a donation poll here. In the notes, you can say on a scale of 1 to 10 how much you love the seed.
And I'll pick my favorite one. They will get my forever gratitude of playing the seed or enjoying watching the seed. So we see Dylan doing SP2, trying to find their non-existence. They still haven't done STT, so they don't know that it's in Halloween Town. We do see that Deck did finish out doing STT, so they have full knowledge of where they need to go. So they're on their way to get non-existence in Halloween Town, and then they're going to shoot over to TT3, get their proof there, and then head into final fights. What's an SP? I forget what is.
I want to say Wisdom Form, if I recall. It is Wisdom Form, okay.
It was Wisdom Form, and it's before MCP, so we don't get to see MCP.
This push actually makes a lot of sense because you don't have that many unhinted checks. You had Wisdom Form, Cure, and I think that's about it, other than the proof, right? So you had like a 1 in 3 chance of that unhinted push to be there. Like if I'm looking at Dylan's tracker here, because TTT was hinted, TT3 was hinted. It made it a lot of sense to go check SP2 instead of trying to pray that you find the hint for it. So this makes a lot of sense. But now, is STT hinted for Dylan? I can't quite make it out.
I
so one thing that
it should be.
Okay. So I think one thing that might be is he just double checking?
So they completed the. I think he's.
I
see. He completed the world, but it's not blue for him.
Okay, so he did do. I thought it looked like an assassin, but it wasn't blue.
Or
so I wasn't.
Or did he not reset it? No, he has a purple world, so he's completed TT3. But I don't think he has all the checks.
Right, because I saw the assassin icon on the progression.
Yeah. So he's missing a check here. So he thinks that, of course, he wants the proof to be here, but he knows he's missing something, which is unfortunate because you have to go through everywhere to go. And the most common checks that I see missed, and this is a surprising one, is the woods.
Yeah, the woods could have done it. Yep.
Is very common to miss. Because you can easily avoid it in TT1, in Twilight Town 1. But when you go to Twilight Town 3, you're just zooming through the woods.
Right.
Like you zoom through it, and you don't even realize that there's 3 chests in there. So that is a possibility that he just skipped out on the woods checks.
I did roll this seed. I never purported not to. Yo, Surly in the chat saying good to see this back. Surly, good to hear from you, buddy. Thanks for being a huge inspiration as to why this is around. What's up there, Des?
I was going to say, Roro, you roll all the seeds in our hearts, so we can blame you with the Roro.
Well, I can blame Zach. Zach said every seed is a Zach seed because it's the generator. So I have the ability to what is it? Redelegate redelegate the blame. We have donations to get through, by the way. Apologies, I keep interrupting you. My apologies.
No, you're fine. No, fine. Donations are good. Let's hear them.
So Bab donated $1 saying proof in TT3 means it's a 10 out of 10 seed. Yeah, Bab has won almost every single community night race where there's a TT3 proof, so that makes perfect sense. Clark donated $10 saying watching myself play this seed with hindsight is almost as painful as playing it was. Had lots of fun and loved the event. Well, I'm so glad we were able to include you. I actually do want to quickly talk about two people that we're witnessing that's unrelated to the seed. Clark was invited in FF2 but was not able to play and informed me that because of the way we handled asyncs, that was the only reason he was able to join. So that alone made it worth it. The fact that there was one person that was able to play in Fresh Faces 3 because of our efforts with the ASYNC qualifiers, that was everything. So Clark, thank you for telling us that, because that made all the effort that we put into running async, not only just running the async bot and generating the async qualifier seeds, but doing this and collecting all the footage and ensuring that it's streamable. It's all worth it if there's one person that was able to play that wouldn't have been able to otherwise. The other thing I want to point out is we do have some veterans in chat, like those who have been around for years. And Dex says, if you're here, you can correct me. But I vaguely recall Dex said he was a tournament organizer for JOAT. I don't even remember what the acronym for JOAT was. It was like J Smarty, and then maybe All Blue. No, I don't actually remember what it was, what it stood for. But that was my first tournament, and Dexes was attorney organizer for it. So it's very nice to see that, like, after what seems like over a 3.5 year long hiatus, Dexes has decided to come back and join my tournament. So it feels very, very full circle to have Dexes join us this year.
I'm trying to figure out what Dylan is missing. Like, he's checked everywhere. So I'm just trying to figure out which check he's missed, because he checked the woods. I don't know if he checked the far left of
Did
the
he
woods,
check the dining room yet?
He did.
Okay.
He's checked the dining room. I don't know if they checked the far left of the woods. It might be that one off check to the far left.
We'll have to
But
investigate.
he did check the first one and the right one.
Oh, there's one.
Oh, here it is. There it is.
Does it make it blue?
Torn pages. Yeah, it makes it blue for him.
Oh, no. So, I will say, to our async participants, I am very sorry that I did not get this out sooner. But something that we will be releasing very soon is a list of commonly missed checks and a reminder that visit unlocks are in first visits. Now, it is still a level playing field because none of these async participants were given this, like, emphasized information. It was out there, right? Like, it's in the seed settings, and the check information is something you can find on kshrended.com. But as TOs for this event, we really hold ourselves to a higher standard to actually ensure as much communication and throughput to the racers as possible. Make it our responsibility to deliver as much information to them. So that's something that will be coming out relatively soon. But it happens every year. The fog chest in OC has had multiple. We had 2 seeds where it was a proof and someone missed it in Fresh Faces 2. So it's a very common occurrence. It happens to the best. It happened to me not too long ago on stream where I missed a check. So it happens to everybody at least once with enough volume. So.
Yes. The other day I ran a seed and the promise charm was on peace, and I forgot about that for like half a seed. That piece was still a check. So it still can happen to you after all these years that you just forget that there's a check somewhere. But yeah, that check in TT3 behind the beam, it instantly puts you at the beam, so you can kind of go do that and then do between betwixt. And if you don't remember that there's a chest right before you go do the beam check, it's kind of unfortunate because then you have to fly around and remember what check did I miss. So, meanwhile, Deck did finish off Experiment, did get their nice, lovely proof on Experiment. Is
They're
heading
all lit
to
up.
TT3 to go find their
All the proofs
proof
are
of
lit
connection,
up.
which we know is somewhere here in the Tunnelways or Sunset Terrace, and then we'll probably see them immediately head out and go do final fights. Meanwhile, everybody else is in some sort of variation of Twilight Town. We have Dylan and Epsilon in SCT, going to get their Bone Fist, going to get their 2 reports that they need to knock out the rest of the seed. They already did TT, so they just need the Halloween Town report, which is nice because that's early. They don't have to do Axel. And then we have Clark doing TT3, just getting their final checks, and then probably going to head over to Halloween Town and get that done. So all of these runners right here that we have on screen are in pretty much going to be in go mode, or as we like to call it sometimes, no mode, where they know exactly. Well, actually, no mode is for us commentators. They'll be in go mode here very shortly. Deck is now heading out, doing some final checks. Going to head to final fights. What's their stats at right now? Are they in the 50s? 50 is that 51 strength and 49 magic? So they're pretty statted for these final fights. Just going to go straight into it. I think they bought enough ethers and elixirs and other items that they wanted right from the get-go. If you are low on stats or low on levels and you want to kind of quickly get them out of the way, those bulkies, they do give you a bunch of experience. So if you just need some extra levels, extra stats, you could make a quick pass to get some of those done. You just go up to them and do the reaction. Some quick, easy levels if it is a go mode. Axel 1 from Straggle Fights is not being very friendly to Epsilon, but they finally get through it with the Blizzard. And Clark heading to go do their Halloween Town. So this is going to be a, what? After deck finishes all up, probably a sub, it's going to be a sub 120, probably a 116. It's looking like 117, potentially. So we're going to see if they were the first finishers out of all these asyncers. Like we were mentioning earlier, it is going to be a top 3 out of this async, I believe, is what we were rounding up to, of who's going to be into the chopping block race. All right, so Deck's heading through final fights. Dylan's going through their STT. Epsilon is finishing up, going to head over to Sunset Terrace, and then going to head to Mansion, get their Bone Fist, and then get their Halloween Town hint, and probably bolt straight there. All right, so Dylan did, since they did go to Twilight Town first, they do have limit form to go through this. So they're doing a couple of R's. They're going to get some limit levels during this as well, too. As you can see, it is very, very quick if you do have limit form. All the orbs, all the damage does make all the damage makes the orbs come out very, very quickly as well, too. So that's why it's kind of nice to have limit form during this, if you don't have Trinity limit, to make it go really, really fast. All right, so Deck using Stitch. Go right ahead.
I was going to say, before I forget, Punning Linguist did donate $1 to also chime in with the their thoughts on the seed. Or Zaire, let me remind myself, is Punning the one that uses Zay-it? I need my RSVP sheet. Again, please remember that I have hundreds of people. I try my best to remember pronouns, but it will get muddy as we have. Okay, I was right. So Zay, sorry, my apologies. So Zay said, absolute banger of a seed, at least for those of us who didn't have to play it. Thank you for the donation in the comments. And again, please forgive me.
This truly was a seed. Listen, hands down, I still have to say, great seed to start this tournament off. Like, it gave us what we were looking for. We saw all sorts of plays, all sorts of routes, and for those STT lovers, they got what they wanted, where was STT was hard required to get your proof. So it had a little bit of everything for everybody. So overall, I think this was a great seed to start off with, because you got to see how these settings play out. They can be nice and friendly and quick. You get all your information early, you get all your tools, and you're done. or they can kind of lead you on and you just make every play until you finally get the right information.
I mean, I hope that emphasizes that, like, because, by the way, just for those that do not know, you can still join Fresh Faces 3. The live qualifiers, all we ask is that you RSVP within 15 minutes of the start of the qualifier, and you can join. So I hope that it emphasizes that truly anybody can win these, because it is just one report away from completely tipping the scales, you know? It's abundantly clear that if you push a Port Royal 1 and you get nothing out of it, it can truly it can be devastating. Alternatively, you might push a world and get the best hint in the world that does a double proof. So please, 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 if you are on the fence, consider joining Fresh Faces 3 for the live qualifiers.
And for everybody too, so when I made these settings, a little bit other background information, when I made these settings, I wanted to make it as friendly as possible, that all forms of experience can have the potential to win.
Absolutely.
And it goes to show that with these settings, you can make all your other pushes and not get what you are looking for, the proofs, while somebody else can do that one play that you're not going to do just yet, and they get the information and they end up in front. So that's what we like to see, is we have an even playing field. We have the mentality of, you play the seed, you can win it. You have a good running. It's not, hey, I'm new to this, I'm not going to win. No, you still have a chance. So don't be afraid to join, to RSVP, even if you are fresh to rando, or you've done your own seeds and you say, well, I just do these for fun. You could do a live qualifier for fun. Everybody,
we love you for the participation, not for the performance.
Exactly. And I don't know if Robo has, I forget what you're doing. What is it? You're doing your donations for everybody who RSVPs and does a qualifier. Am I right? If I
correct. You must stay in the qualifier until it has been decided. But honestly, we don't know how the decision is made. So we might do like if past an hour and a half, we'll consider it that you've done it or something like that. But yes, for every qualifier played, I will be doing a donation match. So please consider doing it.
Yes, make Roro broke, as the saying goes, for Fresh Faces 1 and Fresh Faces 2. Hashtag make Roro broke. So we have Deck finishing up final Zemnis here with a nice clean dome skip. So GG's to Deck.
That was insanely clean. I just blinked and he was done.
So very clean. As far as we can see, he is our first finisher of this async.
116.11.8 is what I have recorded. Clark is doing experiment right now.
Epsilon is not that far behind.
Oh right, with three proofs there, yeah.
Yeah, Dylan is heading to Halloween Town to get their last proof. And then we have the 4 or 5 other runners that they should be nearing this information as well too. All right, so yes, Deck does finish and is gonna. Ooh.
So our donation match has been completed. We have a $25 donation from Lazy Penguin 90 with the message, "Here to cheer everyone on, and my friend Clark." Aw, that's very sweet. It's very nice to see that people from the competitors' Twitch channels come into the restream and cheer them on. We encourage this so much because it feels so nice as a that's probably the one saving grace of watching your async back, is that you've got people in chat that are truly rooting for you. But yeah. Oh, hang on. I need to... Get Cheney off the screen! Love that guy, but we need to make this stop!
Just switch to the other racers.
No, we'll just... we need to find a better freeze frame for Cheney. That's pretty good. He looks scared.
I think anybody is scared when they see.
He said, this is great. This is great. We're gonna leave it like that. That's not Deck says anymore. Can I make a I don't think Cheney will mind this. I think Cheney will find it funny. And if not, Cheney, I apologize in advance. Can I... wait, no, I can't do it because I have already prepped the next batch. But yeah, Cheney reading my async instructions with that reaction is is fantastic. It also has the message that I didn't see. Roro, if you see this, go to bed. Unfortunately, as tired as I might be, we have a qualifier to finish, so this is keeping me up.
Yes, Clark is in final fights. They did get their proof on experiments, so we're going to see them there. Epsilon is getting really not that far behind, honestly. So they just have an experiment fight, and they're into their final fights as well, too. And Dylan is really catching up as well, too. Because they're going to be already at the experiment fight right behind Epsilon.
So if 3 people advance. Now again, I want to preface this that we do not know for whom this is their first or second qualifier, because when you signed up for asyncs, if you did 2, it randomly sent you a qualifier, so you might have done them in different orders. So this is not canon, but let's assume that this is everybody's first qualifier. This is a race now from what I can see. I don't know how the other batch is doing. We'll check in on them momentarily. But it looks like Clark is running away with it in second. And Nihao and Epsilon are like neck and neck right now.
Yeah, they are really like... Epsilon just finished the fight. And Nihao Dylan is done with their fight as well, too. So they're going to be heading into final fights at the same time.
This is going to be an exciting
watch. Their loadless is very, very close to each other as well, too. So Epsilon has about 15 seconds of loadless. And that's pretty much just a couple bars on Zemnis, on final Zemnis. So it's going to be neck and neck. Meanwhile, yeah, Clark is in engine core, is finishing that up. Our other batch of racers, like Roa said, we don't know exactly where they're at. I imagine they are right behind these 3 as well, too.
I have been told we should watch this and then immediately switch over to the group to the next group.
Ooh,
so
okay,
we have a race on our hands. Our 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, I think, are very, very close. So I'm at the ready. I'm not sure if I am at the ready. Let's. I lied. let me double check that I'm ready.
All right. So Epsilon getting a couple extra levels off these bulkies that I mentioned, making sure that their stats are up to their liking, and going to make this because engine core, surprisingly enough, I think is it just engine core that has a very high ceiling. So if you have more stats, you do a lot more damage. So that's one of the places that a lot of runners will catch up on, is because they have a bigger stat differential compared to their racer, their opponent, in engine core. So, yeah, Clark, we have noticed that a lot of these runners that are going right now also don't have a Thunder. We only have the single Thunder that was found. I don't think anybody has found a second Thunder somewhere. I think the only Thunder that we ever saw was on Barbosa. So it's pretty rude. But thank goodness you didn't have to go to Agrabah 2. Am I right?
Yeah. The next qualifier we might. So be careful. Be careful what you wish for. We might, or don't jinx it. Agrabah 2 in these settings really does feel kind of brutal, just because it's such a deep world with very few checks. You need it's one of the only it's actually the only world that I think has an implicit visit unlock, and that you must have a fire, blizzard, and thunder to complete the second visit.
Yeah, because it's just not the visit unlock. You need all the magics as well too. So, there's a lot of requirements to get into Agrabah 2. So it's just really, really rude if the magic placements are very bad and you have to go to Agrabah 2. But the more I look at this, Nihao Dylan almost ABN'd the seed as well too.
Did he really?
They almost yeah.
Oh my god.
They almost ABN'd it.
No unhinted checks. Only hinted. So basically they did. Dylan basically either knew of where check was or... or got it.
Tech, I think everybody is at the ceiling, or above the damage floor. I think everybody's in about the 50s is where everybody's currently at.
Okay. So I missed exactly how this transpired, but Dylan did look like he ran away with a couple fights. Because now he is, while his loadless is higher, he is already on Armored 2 in phase 1. Epsilon making great use of Final Form for this mob fight because you really want anything that manages to deal a lot of damage everywhere, because that's where these enemies always manage to be, everywhere. Okay, so Clark is taking the dome. Now this is like about 90 seconds and it started out like 122.10, so I'm assuming 123.40 is roughly where we're gonna end up for Clark. It's a little under 90 seconds, so maybe it's like 123.30, somewhere in that range.
Yes, so taking the dome is not bad. It's, especially in beginner, taking the death in dome does take a little bit of time to kind of whittle down your health, so sometimes if you're more comfortable with just, you're not like well versed with the dome skip, taking the dome is perfectly fine. You get a breather, you know that you're done with the fight, you just gotta get a final hint. It's just the 90 seconds that you have to sit through the cutscene feels like the longest part of the seed. Because you're just constantly, if you're in a live qualifier and you're taking this dome, you're just like sitting there wondering, hey, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? So it's always interesting to see like who attempts to try to take take dome and just be as comfortable with it, or who tries to skip all of it and go again for another attempt for dome skip.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I personally would be taking the dome just because I like the finality. I like the nerves are off. I just have to mash these two buttons, and I know I'm guaranteed to be done. Nice, sexy finish from Clark. 123.34.
GG's, Clark.
And that puts us at 2 finishers now. So now we have 3rd and 4th frantically moving to final fights, and I'm aware that the other batch is also frantically moving, so as soon as Epsilon is finished, we will go back and watch them. We'll probably rewind to the 1 hour and 30-minute mark, roughly, for them, just to see the RTA and see them finish final fights in real time as well.
Yeah, so here we have Dylan getting as much damage as possible.
Wait, hang on. We have a speech. We can't hear what he's saying, but we do have a victory lap over here from Clark.
All right, and Dylan in limit form, trying to get some limit form swag kill here. All right, so you got to target the one that has the health bar. That's how you know which one is the real Xemnas, and getting hit with dome. But I see them taking it. You got through the fight, so you're going to take dome and going to relax after this tough seed. So this actually gives Epsilon some time that if they get dome skip, they might snipe out Dylan here.
It's ambitious. We have seen it before. We have seen this exact situation transpire in Fresh Faces 2. I think this is even closer, though, so I think this is going to be tough. So Dylan is probably going to finish around 127.50, and that gives Epsilon 35 seconds. That's not impossible, but oh my god, is that going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's not impossible. Like, I think if you do picture perfect and you have the stats, I think it's roughly about 30 to 35 seconds if you get every piece of damage done perfectly. So it is doable. It's
nice reflect use from Epsilon,
so
so we're off to a great start. Very nice use of reflect here. And you can see Dylan is about to finish, so it looks like maybe 128.10. Oh, and we've sent Xemnas again in Divine Stage, so we're going to try to get more reflect damage out, I think. Now, I worry...
Careful of how much damage, yeah.
I think we're...
Oh! That's dome.
Okay, now is Epsilon going to take it is the question.
Say...
Oh, well, you have to. It doesn't, and it's over now. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What a crazy close seed between Dylan and Epsilon here on the tail end. That's crazy. The reflect usage was right there. Epsilon was, and I think honestly the forcing Xemnas into the Vine phase again was very smart to try to get that additional reflect damage off very quickly. It's very challenging when you're up in the air to you know, I'm not even sure. Can you even use session in the air? I feel like you can, but it's very tricky.
It is very. It is. You have to be prepared for it, and you have to do it like just like you were on the floor, but you have to do it like almost instantaneously because you'll catch him. Because once you get the damage in while he's in the air in the vines, he'll immediately hit dome on you. So you already have to be in the limit. So it is a very, very tight window that you have to be prepared for. But it is possible. It's just very scary to do so.
And I think when I'm airborne, I'm not usually thinking like, like, oh, I'm going to pop a session. I'm airborne. I need to get on the ground.
Yeah. You have to pick the right spot in his vine dance to know, like, to get it. And sometimes people wait till the very end. Some people wait for the middle, or some do it right off the first one.
Can we give claps to Epsilon for that beautiful blizzard just punch to the face? That's the coolest way. Just Keyblade straight to the face. Take this blizzard. It was so slow. Exactly. It was so cinematic. What a beautiful way to finish out the seed from Epsilon, who at the moment, Dylan and Epsilon are fourth place, but I got to check in with the other group to see how they're doing. Now, we're going to rewind their batch to 1 hour 30 minutes real time. So I've been told that it's going to be a very close race. So we're going to see how they do on their final fights pushes.
Okay, so we're going to take a look back in time here to give the rest of these runners, our racers, their show and their final fights. So looking here, we have down at the top. Oh, in the top left is Hangman, right? If I remember right, he is in final fights already, doing theirs. And Plixus in the top right is doing experiment, getting their final proof of experiment using wisdom form. We have Vanilla Crescent deciding where to go next. They are missing both their connection and non-existence. They are realizing that they do have to push STT, so they're heading to STT to get their Bone Fist and their two reports there that tell them where to go. And Skypilot is finishing up STT, found all the information that they need, and is going to head down the route to get their last two proofs. So
I do want to quickly point something out in chat just before, because we have some raiders from the French side of things. We really, really want to emphasize, yes, top three move on from this qualifier if this is everyone's first qualifier. Remember that the way that this works is if you qualify in your first qualifier, we remove your participation in your second qualifier. We will restream it, but your result does not count to make room for more entrance into the chopping block. So we don't know, based off these standings, who the actual top X of the remaining qualifier are. So we will be taking the top 25%, rounding up to include more people, and that will be after we remove anybody who qualified from their first.
Yeah, so if we're looking at this as these runners this is their first seed, we'll theoretically know who advances from ASYNC Qualifier 1. But as Robo said, we don't know if this seed is everybody's first seed. It could be their second seed, and they already qualified in the first one. So we can omit them from this standing.
Correct.
So that's where this kind of gets a little hazy. So we're just viewing it and we're commentating based upon that everybody in here, this is their first seed.
Correct.
So it's not a guarantee yet. Just be patient with us. By Monday, we will have the official results for the ASYNC qualifiers, and you'll know if you're in the chopping block or not.
So just to confirm, by the way, because this is going to be very close, because we have Hangman coming up in final fights. Let me just quickly get rid of this. Yeah, I'm aware the audio had issues with our async stream keys. Hangman is Plixas is right behind with 125.59. Our latest finisher is Epsilon with a loadless of 129.27. So there is a chance for Hangman to come through here and snipe out Epsilon for 4th place. And I think Plixas is in a similar position, although I think that one might be a bit more challenging just because we have so much content still to get through, but following very close behind.
Yeah, these top 5, top 6 actually, right, 6, are very close with each other. Like, they're going to be finishing right next to each other. And nothing to Skypilot or Vanilla Crescent here. They are on the right track to get their proofs and finish within minutes of these runners as well too. So everybody bunched up in a really good set of qualifying times. So even if you don't get your top, you don't get first, you don't get second, top 5, if you're within minutes of everybody else, that is a pat on the back for yourself as well too. Because this seed was not easy by far to start off with. If this was your first one, you had to go to a bunch of places. So to be within minutes of everybody is still a great feeling.
Pat yourself on the back regardless.
How the seed.
This is
exactly.
These are not easy. This seed in particular was not easy, and it's not easy to get out of your comfort zone. So we appreciate everyone for participating regardless of how well you did. But yes, qualifiers are going to be very, very close. This is a small qualifier too of only 9 people. So if you thought that was close, get ready for our live qualifier, which can be sometimes upwards of 75 people. People will be finishing left and right. It'll be very chaotic to witness, but it'll be a wonderful time. It's my favorite. Fresh Faces goes on for an entire month, and qualifiers are always my favorite because you get to see the absolute chaos of everyone rushing to finish the seed. And Sky dropped out on stream.
Sky's dropped out. Unfortunate. Yeah, they were in TT. I think they missed doing the Sunset Terrace. The stream might have cut out. I think they might have lost stream, so there might be another VOD, or it just stopped. But yeah, it just kind of... They were doing TT just fine. Well, while Roro figures that out,
yes,
we have Hangman finishing up Final Zemnis. We have Plixus making their way to Final Zemnis. So we have Hangman in the 130s now. I think that is above what Epsilon's time was. I think Epsilon was what we said, 129. We said so. Hangman is not going to snipe Epsilon, but is going to finish with a very reasonable time. They are going to finish with about a 132 and some odd seconds afterwards, after they take this dome. So they're going to take the dome, they're going to relax for their 90 seconds, and then they're going to finish up with a reasonable time. Plixas can snipe them if they are able to do the dome skip. So that's going to be very interesting to see. They won't quite get Epsilon, but they'll be very, very close.
I messed up.
All right, so
time to figure out what I did wrong.
You took us back in time.
I tried to get Deuce in for... well, that's not great. I lost everything from that. Okay, that's very cool. Really? Why is... Do I not know how to count?
Counting is hard.
Clearly.
It's okay, Roro.
That's really, really unfortunate.
We are trying our very best. So, like we've said at the beginning, this is the first time we are restreaming asyncs. So, trying to get it on track with everybody and getting these all restreamed correctly is challenging because it's our first time doing this. So, trying to get everything lined up behind the scenes, making sure all the videos, especially with all these asyncs, because typically we have about one async. It's one-on-ones. You do one async, you do one race, so you can just keep the VOD running or keep the recording running. In this case, we're handling 9 different recordings going on at once. So trying to get them all lined up and us to be able to switch through everything does make it a bit challenging. So Everybody, thank you for being patient with us. We appreciate
I blame
it.
Sky's internet for dropping because we could have gotten away with it. Let's see. So we had Sky. I need to do some very, very complicated math. So maybe now's a good time to, Des, I trust you to do maybe an ad read and a reminder of the donations while I'm frantically figuring shit out back here.
Everybody, don't forget about the pinned message at the top. We are donating money for Project Hope. Every dollar counts, whether it's $1, whether it's $2, whether it's $5, whether it's 10 or 20. So be sure to get your donations in. Tell everybody tell Roro how grateful you are for him hosting this and how great the asyncs went, how much you love this, and all the settings so far. Everything, this couldn't have been done without Roro. But most importantly, with the help of Project Hope, as Evan said earlier as well too. Be sure to check out our last interview, tournament in Fresh Faces 2 with Evan as well too. Great interview, gave us a lot of information on Project Hope. So if you want to know a little bit more about the cause as well too, be sure to check that out as well. So don't forget to get your donations in. We do have an incentive at the $2,000 mark. So we did hit our first incentive with the 1,000, which was our trivia. So we're going to do some Kingdom Hearts 2 trivia. At the $2,000 mark, I forget exactly what the incentive is, but I'm
Graduated
sure
faces.
Just graduated faces. There we go. So if you want to see some graduated faces, do some races as well too, and see how well they do with my settings, be sure to try to get us all the way up to that $2,000 mark as well too. So in the meantime, I hope everybody enjoys the rewind of the stream that we're seeing here. You can enjoy Deuce's great Sora picture in the bottom right. It is a work of art. In the meantime, so yeah, that is Deuce's in the bottom right, not Vanilla Crescent. We do got some mix up here with the videos. But we are seeing Hangman once again going through Final Zemnis. Gonna get through that and gonna go hit a Get Dome. So we'll get caught up with there. And then Plixus, we'll see, gets through their Armature 1, and we'll see them head into Armature 2 again. So, yeah. Once again, thanks for everybody for hanging out with us while we go through all this. Don't forget that we are doing all the restreams of all the asyncs, and our live qualifiers are coming up as well too. So just as a reminder, async qualifier number 2 is going to be restreamed tomorrow afternoon. Okay? So that is going to be done at 1 p.m. Pacific, which is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then on Saturday, or after that, we do have our first live qualifier. So stay tuned if you want to see through that. We're not only going to have Async Qualifier 2 be streamed, but live qualifier number 1 is probably going to be a doozy because everybody's going to be in there. And then Saturday is going to be our 2 live qualifiers then. And we cap off Sunday with our last live qualifier and our 2 async. And they lost me.
Yep, my bad. So this is a good time to point out. This is a good time to point out the reason we're struggling here is Deuce actually had, unfortunately, had an outdated OpenKH. So he was crashing on Final Zemnis here. So I was trying to figure out how to bring that back. So many technical difficulties, but that's why we wouldn't be a Fresh Faces qualifier without some technical difficulties. But yeah, so we were trying to get Deuce up on stream at least at some point because unfortunately that will count as a DNF. But had a very good time up to Final Zemnis. DM me, we got it squared away for his. He did do 2 asyncs, and then the second async we did not have crashes. So woohoo for Deuce. The Deuce will be loose and back again for a future async qualifier. But spoilers here that unfortunately for Deuce, we had some technical difficulties like we have, and Final Zemnis would not load.
Yeah, so we moved on from an OpenKH, a certain rando fork and all that. So if you didn't switch on over, unfortunately, you get the consistent crash on Final Zem. So it's a little unfortunate. All right, so we see Plixas doing Final Zemnis. Are they going to be able to snipe if they get Dome Skip here? They will be able to. So let's see if they get Dome Skip while Hangman is finishing up. There is GG's for Hangman, finishing with a loadless of 1:31 and 40 seconds.
Which is just slightly behind Epsilon's 1:29 something, I assume. I had it open and then let's see, 1:29.27 according to my TOs. So Hangman will be right behind with 1:31.40, and Plixas, I think, he's gonna finish just behind because it's an 80 seconds, 80 to 90 seconds, and they're already within a minute.
Yeah, it's gonna be very close. It's gonna be very close actually, because I think if I remember right, Hangman went into dome animation at about the same time Plixas did, about 1:30 and 30 seconds, or 1:30 and 35 seconds. So it's going to be very, very close of, where they finish, if they're going to be able to snipe Hangman, or if they're just going to be just behind. Now, in the meantime, we have Samurai heading down into the tunnelways. Needs to go to Sunset Terrace to get their proof. So, I think they are... I don't think they went to Sunset Terrace. So just double checking to make sure they got all the proofs here in the tunnelways. And yeah, I think they forgot to go to Sunset Terrace. So they're going to head to Mansion first. And going to get all the checks in there, and realize they're going to have to go back to Sunset Terrace to get the other 4 checks, which does have the proof there. Yes, there is one more runner that is running this.
Vanilla Crescent. We will find a way to get Vanilla featured. We have a very awkward situation where we have 5 racers left, or technically I could replace Vanilla Crescent with Silly Hangman, but I need to know the timestamp to do it at.
Yeah. We did have Plixas finish GG's. They finished with I think it was, if I remember seeing it right, a 1:32 even before the timer reset. So they finished with a 1:32 even, a little bit behind Hangman. But GG's to Plixas as well too. So we have 3 runners left. As we mentioned, unfortunately, Deuce is going to have the Final Zemnis crash here. So they are going to get all the way to Final Zemnis, but they unfortunately will not be able to complete the fight. So it's unfortunate, but like we said, Deuce was able to get that corrected and finish up their second seed that they wanted to do, or that they needed to do. So they have that still going for them. In the meantime, in the top right, Roro should probably pause that. That is another VOD that is going.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I've been doing. We're going to watch Sky just keep doing the same thing over and over again because I am not pulling up the fragmented VOD. I've had enough technical... Oh, and there's another one. Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah.
The many hats we wear as First Faces TOs.
Yes. We are all sorts of hats. Roro has the most hats.
That's true. That's why we had the redeems of putting hats on and off. So if a TO could give me a link to do both Deuce and Sky Pilot Samurai and Vanilla Crescent, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm going to have to take some time to figure that out for myself.
in the meantime, chat. How are you enjoying your Fresh Faces experience so far? How's all the practice seeds been going?
Yeah, don't comment on the technical difficulties. My poor heart can't take it.
No, we're fine. We are fine, Roro. We appreciate everything that you are doing to try to get this up and running, and we appreciate just you putting this all together for us because we all like.
Y'all did a lot of work this year in order to make that happen. So it's a team effort. It's not just me. A friendly reminder. Let's see if this. We're gonna try something. We're gonna see if we can see the end of Vanilla Crescent's stream together. Let's see if that works. Let's double check that that's no longer Deuce. Step 1 accomplished. That is not Deuce. Step 2, change the URL. So we already know how these people did. Now, Sky, unfortunately, his ending was abruptly cut off. I do not have the link to that fragmented VOD. But I do know that Sky Pilot Samurai did finish with a loadless of 144.43, right behind Click's ass. So we are waiting for... And Deuce, unfortunately, did DNF as a result of the crashes that we had in The World That Never Was. But if you are a Deuce fan like I am, fear not, he will be back in a future qualifier, and I have been told that he did finish it. So we will have the loose Deuce back in action sometime on either Friday. Do we have Friday or Sunday is when our next ASYNC quals are.
Yes, Friday. Tomorrow's ASYNC qualifiers number 2. Sunday is 3 and 4.
Okay.
But yes, Sky Pilot Samurai, GG's. We are sorry that we had the fragmented VOD. We are trying to find it, but unfortunately we are unable to locate it. So if you are watching, we apologize.
We have it somewhere. I do not have the time or energy to go get it.
Yes, we apologize.
We were very happy to have you.
Yes, very, very happy. We are glad that you joined. Alright, so Vanilla Crescent doing STT did get their Bone Fist, did get their report for Halloween Town, and is going to get their last report here for Twilight Town, and is going to be in Go mode to finish up their seed. So, Riro, how would you rate this ASYNC qualifier number 1 on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, it's so hard to I think it honestly has to be a 10. What an insane way to start the qualifiers. What didn't we had? We had a double proof in STT that was useful that later turned out to be required. An experiment showed up. We thought it was a go mode 11 minutes in. Little did we know that was not the case. Admittedly, we thought it was a go mode because we thought we had 3 proofs instead of 2. But even then, a double proof Agrabah will definitely scare the bejesus out of anybody that early.
Yes, it's very unfortunate that this wonderful async bot that Roro so graciously made for this occasion to pretty much alleviate some of the stress on the TOs to try to watch all these asyncs get done while trying to get the behind the scenes set up. So he set up the bot. It's unfortunate that it just didn't distribute async number 1 so much, which is why there's so little of it. It would have been great to see a lot of runners try to race this seed because you're pretty much just going everywhere, and
yeah,
you just have to do the SCT push. It was a race of who did the SCT push.
Right. It was very scary because for the longest time we were getting like 30 people with 30 asyncs were done at that point. So in total we had 52 asyncs completed. By async number 30, seed number 1 was distributed 3 times. So we almost didn't have enough people to even restream this qualifier. Thankfully, the law of large numbers kicked in a little bit, and we got a lot more seed number 1 distributed.
It was scary for a while. That
it really was.
Is number one even in the bot?
Yeah, I was scared that I made a bot that like maybe I was an
getting
off by one error or something.
But we are glad that it got distributed because it was a doozy of a seed. See, Rando even transcends outside of Rando itself. It transcends into Discord and the bots that we make for Rando. Oh, I didn't realize Flare Force is
I forgot
on.
Flare Force was here. Yeah.
Great place for Flare Force.
What a wild seed. What an insanely unfortunate seed well, unfortunate for the players, very fortunate for the viewers.
Yes.
That you truly had to go just about everywhere. It's going to be very interesting to witness qualifiers where you don't have information about all the worlds. I think between all of our racers, we really had like a wide variety, and we did have a hive mind of information. But I wonder if there are going to be qualifiers where there are individuals that finish with like half their trackers still unknown. There is definitely going to be an element of holy cow, this person got lucky because one hint that was immediately pushed just put you on the path that the seed wanted you to go on. This one was not as kind, where everyone got information, good, bad, not going to make that assessment, but everyone virtually had the entire seed virtually solved. And it felt like it was almost required, too, because a jump into STT, even though I think the only person that actually did the STT jump was Hangman, if I'm not mistaken. And Hangman did it unhinted, if I recall.
Yes.
So Hangman didn't even know that there was going to be 2 reports there that basically solved the seed for you.
So you want to know what's going to be the interesting thing about what we're watching right now with Vanilla Crescent? They are going to get all the reports for us. So they will have all the reports. They have full knowledge of
Oh my god, you are right.
Everything is at. Because they're about to get it right now. So they'll get the dry form scented, and they have knowledge of where everything is at in this seed.
Oh my god.
Great times. By the way, also too, I don't know if you realize this as well too. We were discussing a little bit earlier. There was only one thunder that was found this whole seed.
Oh my god, you're right.
That was on Barbosa. So if you didn't do Barbosa, you never had a thunder, because the other thunder is somewhere in Hollow Bastion 2. That's one of them. And then the is it actually both of them in there, or is there?
I think
one
it is
more
both of them.
else?
I think it's both of them. You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, you only have one thunder, and that's on Barbosa.
While Vanilla Crescent is pushing Experiment, we did get a bunch of donations that I have not called out yet. So I'd like to say thank you to SquareFan for the $10 donation saying let's go. Sun Zero with the $100 donation saying $10 per French player doing the tourney plus a bit from me, and that's just the start. Thanks for the confidence, and let's break records this year. I could not have said it better myself. What an incredible sentiment. Thank you for handling our French restreams. I know that this, if it's anything like the technical difficulties we've been going through, I know that could not have been easy. So we appreciate you donating so much of your time and energy to learning how this package works and rolling with the flow of the mistakes that were made along the way, mostly by me.
So here's the other thing to add on to. Everybody thank Sun-Zero for actually being awake at his hour.
Oh my god,
because right now where he's at, he started this at 2 a.m. for us. So it is very, very early in the morning for him right now. So he made the commitment to stream very early for the French side for us this early. So be sure to thank him.
Will do. So we are...
Continue, Robo, with your donations. If you have any more.
And then we have a $20 donation from Belle, who says, for a good tourney. So sweet. Thank you so much, Belle. Much appreciated. We are now just shy of 1,600. So we are now at 80% of the way to our next incentive, which is the Graduated Faces race. I should probably pull up the rest of the incentives list. Should we reveal what those are?
Yeah, let's do it. Is the put Roro in a corner on there again?
No, I think Roro's all cornered out. You know, Roro is put in a corner trying to get these footages up. So the corner is, I'm done. The corner is no longer there.
The corner has been retired.
Okay.
Yes, what are the rest of these incentives that we have on the board? I don't think we've revealed them yet. We've talked about them as they come out, but we haven't told the audience of what they're shooting for.
If I can okay. So, as mentioned, we have KH2 Rando Trivia, which we'll start organizing right away. We've got graduated faces coming up at about $408, so we're very, very close. Hopefully today or tomorrow we will hit the 2K mark. At 3,000s, we have Beers and Battleships, which is just a very social hour where we'll demonstrate the Battleship Tracker. So for those unaware, you can play Battleship in KH2 Rando. It's a project that I worked on. It was one of my first software projects that I made as an executable, which has now been... please don't blame Ro. This one's on me. No. Ro could have done this too. Ro decided not to handle the async. So this is on Ro. Blame Ro for this. Blame Ro. I don't know who Ro is. Yeah. Or you know what? I agree with Dex's. Don't blame anyone for anything. Yeah. Just enjoy the fact that we got it resolved. We have a wonderful. I also want to point out. I believe, I could be wrong. TOs, you guys can check me here. I believe this is the seed where is this the one where vanilla I'm actually not going to say it just because if I'm wrong I'm spoiling something, so I'm going to just shut up and go back to the incentives.
Incentive list, yes, let's go back there.
So yeah, so if you did not know, the KH2 Rando has Battleship included. In fact, if you downloaded the tracker, in Options Grid Tracker, you'll actually see that you can play on a grid, and one of the options is actually to play Battleship. Basically, if it can be collected or if it's a progression event, it's something that you can use to organize a battleship board. You can place random ships, and you can basically play. It's like its own hint system, if you will, where you have to find the things that are the ships. At $5,000, we have the No Map Race. That is a race that our two lovely TOs, Dark and Callet, have agreed to do. And if you've there's a couple of videos you might have seen on the YouTubes. I feel like such a boomer that I struggled with that.
YouTube.
On the YouTubes, yeah. I'm actually 80. But you may have seen that there are some people who have played with no maps. So that means that you literally just have an empty room. You see the walls, but there are no textures. So Dark and Callet have agreed to do a race where they have no maps. At 7,130, that's the funny number because 7 and 13. Sponsored creators of Fresh Faces 3, the Radiant Gardeners, have agreed to do a 2-player, 1-controller run of Fresh Faces 3. If we can, I would love to get that commentated by Double and Geek, who are familiar with the 2-player, 1-controller run. And they might be able to dissect what they're probably experiencing on the emotional side of things and the physical side of things with their thumbs as they try to navigate that together. They actually won a Million Dreams Award for gameplay challenges as a result of using the 2-player 1-controller. So we're very excited that they were interested in running that as an incentive. So if you get us up to 7,130, they have agreed to play a seed in that way. At 8,500. Thanks to the incredible work of Geek and Walpy for bringing it to my attention, we will have a random Lua ability hit list. What in the world do those words mean? Well, hit list is a game mode where you actually have to fight super bosses. You have to fight 7 out of 8 super bosses. But the random ability Lua, what does that do? Every room transition, a random set of your abilities is equipped. So you may go into Data Zigbar with no scan, no movement, or maybe movement isn't in the list, but the abilities are randomly...
Movement's in the list.
Oh, movement's in the list, so you might not be able to move. You might have to stay on the ground the entire time you are fighting Data Zigbar. We don't know who's running that yet, but it will be an incredible time. It was a wonderful I think it was also an incentive for a previous charity event, and it's a lot of fun laughing at people as they try to get through the fights with half of their abilities no longer in the pool. It'll be a great time. And then at 10,000, we have our spectacle, the returning incentive of, like, I think we're on, like, what, number 15 of these because they're so much fun. Double A Dewey and Ragnoth have agreed to again be our finale at 10K. We will have more incentives should we break 10K, which you should. Command donate. We have some incentives on the reserves, but up to 10K, we will be closing that out with Double and Ragnoth, who will be doing a Nightmare Seed. So for those that don't know what Nightmare is, in the generator, you actually get to have some say in the depth of where items are located. Nightmare means everything is pushed all the way to the back, meaning that you are going to have to do so much content with no checks. Nightmare means it literally is called Nightmare because it is a nightmare to play through that seed. You have no tools, and you have to get through some of the hardest fights before you actually get your checks. Double and Ragnoth have so graciously agreed for like the 15th time to do it, not only for just our tournament, but for charity tournaments in the past, primarily a Comey's Charity Tourney series. We're very, very excited that they agreed to come back. They were so willing that they said, you don't have to ask, you just tell us when we're there. So we will be telling them when they're there. And we've got Vanilla Crescent entering final fights with a load list right now of 150-30. So I'm assuming that somewhere around the 2-hour mark-ish, maybe 2:05, we'll be winding down here. I do also need to figure out how to get a list of all these donations, because we need to get a prize away. So, Erdez, I'm going to let you take over the commentary scene in its entirety, and I'm going to shut the fuck up and figure out how to do this.
All right, sounds good. It's my stream now, chat. All right.
No.
People riot. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No people riot. We don't people riot here. We are actually going to cheer on Vanilla Crescent to finish up this seed here. They trudged through everything that the seed had to offer, and they got all their proofs. They're going to go head to final fights. They are going to finish up here. But yeah, so far I enjoyed this seed, watching the routes that everybody took. This is ultimately what I created the settings for, where you're just going to do a bunch of random stuff, go to a bunch of random places, and be able to, get all the info that you want, and hopefully you go into the right places. Otherwise, you have to go to SCT, which is the slowest content in the game. So, but yeah, it's gonna be. I enjoyed watching it. I hope everybody's enjoyed these settings so far. We still, like I said, have a bunch of these qualifiers all weekend long to do. We have the live qualifier tomorrow and another async being restreamed tomorrow, and then we have 2 live qualifiers on Saturday and the final 2 async ones being on Sunday. So be sure to tune in all those. We are gonna it's not just done after this weekend. This weekend is just the qualifiers. After that, we have Chopping Block, which is going to be a big group of people. It's going to be very exciting to watch because that's when we get to set our top 32 for the bracket. And then we get on to our 1v1s. But be sure to support every runner that's in here. They took time to join the tournament, whether they were experienced, not experienced, whether they're speed runners, whether they're casual players, whether they're crit players, beginner players, proud players, Kingdom Hearts 3 runners, whoever it may be. They all took time to do this tournament and do it for a good cause. It is a charity tournament after all. Yes, we are doing rando. Yes, we get to do a tournament, but overall we are raising money for Project Hope. So don't forget to hit that donation button. It's pinned at the top of this channel, at the chat. Chopping Block will be, if I remember right, I should know for specifically, but it should be next weekend.
August 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern.
There we go. Thanks, Roro. August 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So yes, it is next Friday. That will give us plenty of time to make sure we have all the correct people who are eligible for the Chopping Block. Like we said, we want to have it done by Monday. That is our goal, but we're all human. It may take a little bit longer to iron out all the details. So if we don't have it out specifically on Monday, make sure you go into the tournament hub and subscribe to that Fresh Faces 3 ping, because the minute we know that information, we will send out a ping, and you'll know if you're in or if you're not in. If you're not in, we thank you for joining. Support all the runners. If you're in, have fun with my settings, and hopefully you don't get an STT seat, because no, we all like STT, so we all like our stocks. But yeah, Vanilla Crescent finishing up here, is in the middle of Axle 2, and I think they have one more. Yeah, they're in the second health bar, so they just hit the second health gate. They have these last buildings to go through, and then they will head into final Zemnis. All right, so we're going to dodge these buildings. We're going to try to get this building in the top right. It's not going to quite be there, so they're going to zoom forward and try to get this building before it decides to go launching. Axle 2, listen, Sun-Zero. I've been calling him Axle 2 all night for some strange reason. We know it's Armor Chair, but I think it's the AX2 abbreviation that everybody uses that makes me want to call it Axle 2. I will get it eventually memorized. All right, so Vanilla Crescent going to finish off Armored Zemnis 2 here, or Armor Chair 2. There we go. And we head into our last runner's final Zemnis. All right, so we're going to do a little dance at the beginning. They're going to get caught, and they're going to do a bunch of reversals. Get some reflection, get some damage in. All right. Armored chair. Yes, he'd be cuter with red hair, to be honest. True. All right, so they're through the dance. They're going to get some damage in, try to get into laser phase. Final Zemnis not being very nice, but with these stats, they are doing a lot of damage. I didn't realize how much damage they were really doing with their stats that everybody had. It does pretty good damage. It almost does like a full bar. Using some guards on these lasers. All right, I'm going to do a reflect here to get some damage in. Going to guard some more. Sorry, chat. My throat is getting a little dry here, so I need to drink some water. Stay hydrated, everybody.
I promise I'm working on it.
No, you're fine. As we're finishing up here, I'm going to just remind everybody, remember to donate here to the good cause. Also, be sure to check out, as we had on earlier today from Project Hope, Evan. Did a little informational for us at the very beginning, but if you want to get some more information on Project Hope, Ro did a wonderful interview with him last year during Fresh Faces 2, so be sure to check that out as well too.
Relevant now more than ever, so please, if you are unaware of what is going on in Ukraine right now, it's very light, very easy to follow. Please, it was a great discussion, and you'll understand why we do what we do.
Exactly. Ooh, gonna get dome skip. Oh, the magnet burst. The magnet burst.
Oh no.
Does the pushing a little bit farther back. So almost got dome skip. But gonna take dome, and it's gonna finish it up. So everybody in chat, give a good GG's to all our runners. Give a GG's to Vanilla Crescent for finishing out this stream. Get some claps. Show off your favorite emotes, because when the final hit happens, ASYNC 1 will be done. So it was, yes, very close to getting dome skip here. So dome skip is not easy to get when you're first learning the rando. The timing's very weird. The reflects, the knowing when to do limit, how much damage, where the health gate's at. It's a lot to try to memorize and do very quickly in a short amount of time. So, yeah, we're almost done here. Got a couple more seconds of this wonderful cutscene, and then we'll see how Vanilla Crescent finishes off. A Thunder, let Riku take the hit, do some swag. We've seen all sorts of finishers here, so let's see how Vanilla Crescent finishes this out. Maybe just a little bonk on the head to final Zemnis. All right, so there is the beam of light, and we finish it with a blizzard. Or was that no? That was a blizzard. Blizzard to the face. So GG's Vanilla Crescent for finishing out async with a lowest time with a 1:59, and I didn't see some odd seconds, but it's 21 seconds, so it's sub 2 hours. So GG's all around. All right, so other than that, Rose getting all the list of all the donators together here, so we're doing a
we're gonna do a giveaway. We're gonna give away one of our sponsored prizes out to one of you incredibly generous donors. We have made the list. Let's see if I can not fuck this up.
Nah, nonsense. You got this. We believe in you, Rose.
There we go. Oh, let's get the disgusting cup out of here. Yo, what an insane qualifier. So I think from our initial estimates for Async Qualifier 1, I'm thrilled to point out that I think it's looking like Deck Says, Clark Streams, and Nihao Dylan are the favorites at the moment to advance to the chopping block, but do give everyone who participated a massively deserved round of applause, not only for finishing the qualifiers, and I'm going to say Deuce technically finished because it's not his fault that the crash happened, but he made it to Final Zemnis, he found the proofs. In my eyes, that counts as a finish. We will be matching that donation. Did you check it twice? Did I check what twice? Uh-oh. I'm scared. What did I check? Oh, the list? Did I check it twice? Yeah, I don't want to say anything in stone. I'm saying what I think was there. But again, massive thanks for not only finishing what I was going to say, another massive thank you for dealing with the async bot. I think it was pretty effective, but I also know it was brand new, and we were already throwing a lot of new information at you. So we really appreciate you giving us a chance to actually include you with the async. So we really, really appreciate all of your time, your dedication, your working with our stream codes, and all the instructions that was there. I think the list is pretty good. I even asked both ChatGPT and Excel if I have any duplicates. So let me see how we're gonna do this. Let's see, browser. Is it a I don't know how to use Twitch. Is it a window capture? Wheel. Select a
wheel.
Let's see.
All hail the wheel.
Prizes. Okay. I think we're in good standing here. Alrighty. So we need to go to... No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. We'll respin it, don't worry. Okay. Is this visible to everybody? I think that's visible, right?
It is, yes.
Alrighty, so these should be the unique donators all the way up through Async Qualifier 1. We have Ukimiyoshi, Moko, Squarefan, Walpy, Omicron Gamma, Bell, Kalat, Tibbs, Sun Zero, Lands the Master, Not Roxas 12, Dallin 1016, Dr. Toby, Lazy Penguin 90, Clark Streams, Mr. Prince, DanBop77, Bab, Punning Linguist, Annabelle, Zekbar, Flo, PG Josh, and Mr. Juan Up. I don't see any duplicates. So with that, spin the wheel to see who is winning the prize, and then we'll spin the next wheel to see what your prize will be. I think that's going to land on Omicron Gamma. So Omi will be in touch about about the prize that you get, which, speaking of, let's figure out what prize indeed you are going to get. We're going to re-roll it because that was supposed to be rolled after. So we will always roll the player first and then the prize second. So The prize that you get is... I probably should have shuffled these a little bit better, shouldn't I have? But the odds are still all the same. So you win a copy of Steam 1.5, 2.5 on KH. So we will be in touch on how to get that code. If you do not want it, we will be in DMs and reintroduce it into the pool for anyone who does. And with that, I don't have a ton more that I really want to say. I want to say thank you all for showing up in troves for ASYNC Qualifier 1. I think at our peak we had 91 viewers. The average appears to be around 60. So excited. We're so thrilled that, especially despite the technical difficulties, y'all showed up and gave us support that we didn't know was possible. We'll be back tomorrow. We have an async qualifier at 4 p.m. Eastern, and we have a live qualifier at 7 p.m. Eastern. That live qualifier is going to be absolute chaos. So if you thought tech difficulties were happening now, they'll be happening tomorrow, but we'll also be having a great time watching your favorite content creators beat Final Zem and comparing their times. I don't have anything left to say. Mr. Erdez, the floor is yours on anything you'd like to advertise.
Go do rando seeds. Go do rando seeds. Go to the website. Do RSVP. Join it. It'll be fun. I got nothing else to say other than I enjoy what I do. I enjoy Fresh Faces 3, and I hope to see you all there.
Then y'all, I'm gonna find someone to raid. Anyone have any recommendations? Let me see. Podgy is live. I don't know if he's doing. Oh, he's doing Fresh Faces 3. Okay, why don't we go show a fellow? Actually, we're gonna go to Unversed Docs because I want some. I think that'll balance out the visibility between the both of them. So let's go raid Unversed Docs. Do me a favor, chat. I do have 2 more favors, actually. The first is I have a raid message. I never do this, but I have a raid message that I thought it came to me. It's a little cringy, but I like it. So let me see if I can find it again. I don't usually do raid messages, but I do think this will be a very nice gesture. Please copy and paste that raid message anytime we raid a fellow content creator. And then while we raid Unversed Docs, I do want to quickly roll the credit sequence. This is a labor of love from so many people. Please give me a chance to thank everybody. And there is one other thing I could use a favor on. One thing that I regret about Fresh Faces 1 and 2 is I don't think that we've tried to be very grateful to all the demographics and supporters of the Fresh Faces, but I think that we had neglected to be more grateful to the developers of the KH2 Rando, who work tirelessly and for free to ensure that we even have a KH2 Rando for you to install, and it's customizable in every way, shape, or form. When you see they show up in the credits sequence, I want to see some thank you devs in all caps so that the developers know. Do we have double mic? Oh no. Fuck. How did I accomplish that? Does that fix it? How did I accomplish this? Whatever. Thank your devs. I don't know where the double mic came from. Take care, everybody. I misspelled Unversed Doc's username. Don't forget to copy the raid message.